Welcome back, everybody, to the GeoGuessr World League. I'm joined by Jake Lyons. Jake, say what's going on.
Hey, happy to be back. Ready for week 3. Let's do it.
Yeah, we're excited to be here. We're excited to be back with you all. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. Hope everybody enjoyed the stream earlier today as well. Some nice games there and some nice games to come today. It should be a good time. But what are we doing here? What is GeoGuessr? What's the World League? Let's get into all of that information. Jake, what is this game?
What is GeoGuessr? GeoGuessr is a game where you are put somewhere in the world with a Google Street View image, and the idea is to figure out where in the world you are using whatever clues you have around you, including the landscape, the architecture, the signs, etc. And once you think you have an idea, you open the map in the bottom right corner, put down a pin, and you try and get as close to the actual location as possible. You get a maximum of 5,000 points for a perfect guess. And yeah, it's a great time, as you guys will see very soon.
That's about it, and this is how our players play within that game. We start off with a moving game. Moving means the players can move around freely, no restrictions. They can find whatever information they can to help them make their guess, but they have 1 minute to do so. Then, in our second game, we play no moving, where the players spawn in and get only one 360 panorama to guess where they are. They can zoom in that 360 panorama, but they cannot move up and down the road. Then, if we get to our tiebreaker, that is NMPZ, no moving, panning, or zooming. We all love it. We all want to see it. It is one singular still image that is all the players have to guess off of. But within those game modes, that's a best of 3 right there. Let's see how the scoring works. Jake, talk to me.
So the scoring works this way. It's a best of 3. If you win your first 2 games, you don't play the third, and the winner receives 3 points in the table, and the loser receives no points. If the match instead goes to the tiebreaker NMPZ game, then the winner of that match will win 2-1 and receive 2 points in the overall table, and the loser will receive 1.
That's about it, and this is our schedule for today. We're starting off with a bit of a banger here. MK and Finnbar. Talk to me about this match, Jake.
MK and Finnbar, I mean, there's a lot to say about this one. This is a really, really exciting matchup. Finnbar, as if I'm not mistaken, has not lost a single game so far. He's played 3 matches and won all of them 2-0, so he hasn't even played NMPZ yet. MK, on the other hand, last year's runner-up at the World Cup, an absolutely formidable player, and a player who expects to perform, expects to finish near the top of the table. So this is definitely a clash of titans here. Cannot wait to see how this one pans out.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting, and we'll actually get 2 matchups guaranteed in each time slot today. Our second will be Skill Issue and Debray, so stay tuned. We won't be having as big of breaks as we used to have. We'll be getting both of those matches. Should be very exciting. With some games going down earlier today, we can take a look at our overall standings as well, see how everybody is doing. Blinky's still holding that first place with 14 points at the top, RC there, but Zigzag and Eamon made a jump. They've got 13 points.
Yeah, huge days for Zigzag and Eamon. Blinky and Radu, probably the expected 2 players at the top, maybe the 2 best players in the world, at least according to a lot of people. But yeah, a lot of movements so far here. Worth noting again, Finnbar he's only played 3 matches and he's still in the top 10 with a perfect 9 points through 3. I think something that's worth noting here, just in general, is that the top 12 players will be the ones who end up qualifying automatically for the World Cup. Top 12 is about 1/3 of the table, so in my estimation, I think that in order to reach that top third of the table, you're going to want to win about 2/3 of your games. So I think a good benchmark to look for is whether a player's points are more than twice or less than twice their number of matches played. So for example, Radu has played 5 matches, has 13 points, that's well above double. I would expect, with a pace like that, for him to place comfortably in the top 12.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good thing to shout out and to look for, as we do have many, many weeks of matches. But it appears our players are about ready, so we're going to head in, see if these 2 titans can make it, keep those points up, and maybe Finnbar stays undefeated. But we'll take a look at MK first. MK, our reigning 2nd place world champion, The fastest guess time that we have in this league, I would guess, with that 15 seconds in a round. Some players hate playing against it.
Yeah, and you see the contrast with Finnbar, 43 seconds average guess time. I would imagine MK is going to stick to his usual strategy. He's just going to send his guesses very, very quickly. And it's impressive to see MK with the 62%, 4,500 plus points accuracy, especially given how he basically doesn't move in his moving games. He just sends his guesses so quickly. So definitely some contrasting playstyles here. It's going to be interesting to see how they clash.
Definitely. Agreed. And that is such a good stat to look at as well, that 62% above 4,500. So interesting to point out. But sometimes it doesn't always work out for him, because you can see he has lost some matches there. But Finnbar in that 9th place spot, MK is going to want to take that from him in this matchup. We start off quick. We get right into our moving round. MK doesn't want to move.
Yeah, and this is what we're going to see consistently from MK throughout the course of the match. Finnbar, we saw Finnbar play last week, and he played incredibly well, especially in his moving games. I was super impressed by his moving skills. So, especially given that, MK, he's not going to be taking his time. He's just going to look around, be like, okay, this is here, and he's going to send. He's not going to worry about anything else.
It would be dangerous to really let Finnbar move around, honestly. He showed a masterclass in moving that I think was somewhat expected, but not at the level he did last week, as you just mentioned.
Yeah. So this is southern Bhutan. I like the guess. I think it's maybe more closer to Gallipoo, which is a little further east of where MK is. So Finnbar is about in the same place.
Yeah, both players almost on top of each other there. Finnbar just a little closer.
Yep, it does end up being Gallipoo. Very sort of distinctive area in the far south of Bhutan. But Bhutan, of course, is a small country, not one that's going to make too much of a difference either way.
And we move on to round 3. Players are in what appears to be possibly a Romania.
I agree with that, for sure. Yep. MK just looking around, confirming it's Romania, and then immediately sends. Again, I don't think he has any information, but there's no real reason for him to let Finnbar get information. So he's just going to go ahead and go fast. See.
Relatively similar region guesses here, yeah. But MK closer. This is just far north. That's what MK is going to really need in this moving game. He doesn't look too happy with that somehow, but he is getting that chip damage, which is how he's going to probably end up winning a moving game against Finnbar realistically, is putting on the speed and just getting that chip damage, being a little bit closer based off of only region guesses.
Yeah, what Finnbar needs is a round with info nearby, which this could be. If he could find some information that MK can't, that could make the difference for him. We will see an Urban Italy round. Definitely going to be some information. So Pesaro is a city in eastern Italy. I don't know if MK knows that.
Yeah,
it's a little further down near San Marino. He says he has Rimini, so Finnbar knows Rimini.
That's going to be a big help for him. MK in Po Valley right now, so that's going to be a pretty big difference. 2.5 times damage. This could be some decent points. Definitely won't see game, but going to be a hit to MK if he doesn't get any more information here and move.
Yep. And again, MK is showing that he's not quite as experienced when it comes to moving. He does have a town name, he just doesn't know where it is or how to use that information. So we'll see some good damage for Finnbar here.
Wow, that's Finnbar basically on it. The 4999 deals 1,800 points of damage to MK. MK not too happy with that. It's a bit of a surprise, actually. He did take the time to look around there because it was urban, but it just didn't pay off for him. That moving skill from Finnbar really showed.
Yeah, the one time he decided, well, we're in the middle of a city, so I may as well go and look for something because Finnbar's going to find it. But he did find some info. He just unfortunately wasn't able to use it.
We do see a quick lock here from Bulgaria from MK, while Finnbar is zoomed in on Romania. So we'll see. He does stay Romania. This is a difference in country. They are bordering countries, though. Right on the border.
It was probably Bulgaria, so maybe a bit lucky for Finnbar that it happened to be in the north.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of luck. MK's not looking too happy with his performance right now, just based off the cam, obviously. We're just trying to guess his emotion based off what we see there, but It is pretty close here. Finnbar, 100-point lead.
You see the difference in playstyle. Finnbar booking it down the road, MK just kind of looking around, getting a feel for the landscape. Interesting guess from Finnbar. He's quite far east, and it ends up being south coast.
Yeah, I could imagine this being a win that MK wants mentally right now, because MK knows he was second place in the World Cup. Finnbar, currently now undefeated. This could be good for MK to really make a bit of a comeback here, and take a win, and hopefully move on back up the ladder. He is out of the top 12 right now.
Yep. Finnbar, meanwhile, trying to stay undefeated. We'll see how long he can keep that up. MK probably his toughest opponent yet. See,
Definitely
they both
could be said.
They both saw the words Bele Vode, but that isn't that helpful. Savineku, that maybe means we're near the Sava River, which is in Slovenia, among other countries. Both players agree with that.
MK with the quick lock. Finn a little closer. Just a couple points there, but Finn holds his lead. He's now about 1,000 health in the lead as we move on to round 8.
3 rounds to go. They're quite rural round, but this is a Russia. Finnbar, one of the best Russia players in the world, immediately zooming into a very specific road southeast of Chita. And if Finnbar is zooming into something in Russia, I certainly would not bet against him. MK in a similar area, but he's a good deal further northwest, I think.
Yes,
he
is. I think this will be, Finn, one of those best players. He knew the right area, not exactly on it, but a very good guess with 4.5 times damage. That puts MK on 224 health. Finn comfortably 4,200 still.
What's interesting is that if Finnbar actually got the correct town there, he would have won, but he was a little bit further to the northwest, so see if that ends up making a difference. Oh, he's got some info here, so surely Finnbar wins here.
Surely this is game. MK with a quick guess. Finn moved a little farther and found the info. Is he on the road? That's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. MK could not keep up and put on the pressure enough. Even giving Finnbar only 15 seconds, it worked out for him. In the end, he found enough info to take that game.
Yep. We see again the moving prowess from Finnbar, how strong he is, how well he's able to find that info and use it quickly. And that was the difference. Game 1 against MK. See if he can stay undefeated in this no move, though. This is MK's specialty.
We will see. This is... I would assume that MK didn't necessarily expect to win the moving and wanted to take it to the no move and then the NMPZ. So we'll see how he fares here. We have round 1. Seems to be Argentina.
Yep. Likely quite south. We have those poplar trees in the distance, which you see a good amount in sort of the southern half of Argentina, near where both players are clicking here. So I would imagine not too much damage is going to be on offer here.
Both right there, just on top of each other on the same road. 55 points to MK.
Finnbar locked in right now. But it's going to take a lot of great guesses from him if he wants to beat MK no move.
The quick lock from MK. Did he NMPZ that? I didn't even see.
Wait. I'm not even sure, but it's a very different guess. Finnbar is down in Victoria.
Yeah, this is going to be big points, even though it's only 1.5 times damage. MK on top of it right away, just near Brisbane. 1.5 times, that's 4k damage to Finnbar in only round 2.
It's so impressive the way he's able to look at that and know it's Brisbane within like 2 seconds and just sends with enough confidence he doesn't even want to think about it. He just knows.
He just knows. He knows again. Round 3, the quick Sweden guess. Finn a little farther north, but pretty close. MK a little closer, 2 times damage. Shouldn't be game, but it will be a little bit more of a hit. Finnbar on only 1k health now.
Finnbar in danger is losing his very first game of the tournament here. Another rural Europe round.
difficult one.
Not sure what the country is here. Looks like the players aren't too sure either.
Yeah, even MK looked
Russia.
a bit confused there.
Both of them going northern Russia now, which makes a lot of sense given the vegetation. I do like the guess. Again, I wouldn't bet against Finnbar in Russia, although MK's guess is still pretty similar.
Oh, and it's closer from MK. That's going to take the game.
Wow. Dominant from MK in the no move there. Incredible guesses. Just you see why his accuracy is above 60% for 4,500 plus, despite the fact that he doesn't even move in a moving game. He's just so consistent. He's always close. It's really amazing what he's able to do.
That's true class. Taking the game, no move, in 4 rounds against the so far undefeated Finnbar. First game, lost. We go to NMPZ.
This is interesting. Yeah, both players going Ulan-Ude. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, it looks a lot like Russia. We have pretty tall mountains in the distance that we can see. So Ulan-Ude is definitely a good candidate. That's really impressive from both players there getting the city.
That is amazing. Both on it. The NMPZ guess in the correct city. We go to round 2.
So this is French road lines. Yeah, so there's this road line in the center that's like a little, it's like a little thing that's like, but it's like staggered. It's hard for me to explain when you can't see it on the screen. But that is exclusive to France, and both players knew it just had to be France.
It's the 2 little staggered white squares.
Yep.
That's a good way to put it. Round 3, another very quick zoom here from both players right into Ecuador. I believe we do see some Ecuador bollards.
Yep. Ecuador bollards on the side. Double guardrails are very common in Ecuador among South American countries. And you also have this camera quality. I suppose I'll call it bad cam, which you find a lot in places like India and Cambodia, but within Latin America, it is only in Ecuador.
Nothing to write home about there. We just go next. Multis are simply racking up. We have made it to round 4. The health looked quite different on our no move round 4. So this is a much closer game, NMPZ. You see Finn with the IRL zoom, moves his head closer into the monitor. Both players in Panama.
Took Finnbar a second to decide on Panama, but ends up making a really nice guess.
Very nice guess with 2.5 times damage. That's 1k points down to MK's health. We move on to round 5. 3 times damage. NMPZ. Super quick zooms from both players. MK and Quick. They're both in this very similar area there, so shouldn't be too much either. Again, we rack up the multis.
It's amazing how fast we're going here. MK, it really is impressive how quickly he gets vibes for places. And it can be really hard for opponents to keep up with. When he guesses in 2 seconds, it's hard to sort of get your bearings. Alice Springs, I like the guess again, and I think, again, yeah, Finnbar's going to have the same idea. Urban Australia, but very, very dry and hilly. Makes perfect sense for Alice Springs.
And they're both there. MK didn't even zoom all the way in, just kind of space plonked it, as we would call it. But they're both there, 66 points down. We go next.
Incredible consistency in the NMVZ so far. I mean, we're in round 7, hardly any damage on either side.
This is truly impressive.
It's like a South Africa, yeah. I mean, I agree with just clicking Joburg. Both players
on each other.
I have the exact same idea every single time.
MK a little closer with the multis. That's going to be a little hit, but still not too much. They've evened it out a little bit, though, which really means these last couple rounds are going to count so much, especially if they continue to only chip damage against each other.
This is everything for sure.
Round 8.
God, here is this New Zealand or is it like UK or Ireland? It's hard for me to tell.
This is difficult. We see both players getting closer in their monitors, possibly trying to take a look at some of those license plates, things like that. I do like the Australia guess here. Does make sense. It does seem like they're parked on the left side of the street, so that helps at least with the left side driving.
Yep. Oh, so Finnbar going New Zealand. So yeah, that was my first thought, although Australia obviously makes sense too, but this is going to be game either way, I think.
MK locks in Australia. Finn confidently in New Zealand. That wins the game for Finnbar with 4.5 times damage. Finn wins.
Finn wins. He loses his first individual game, but still manages to take the match. And just incredible. I mean, I think Finnbar now on 11 points through 4 matches. I mean, can't ask for much more. One of the strongest players so far, and an amazing showing there against one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, that was unreal. I think we're seeing a new Finnbar here from last season especially, and I think this format will fare quite well for Finnbar with having lots of opportunity to play many matches, starting with the move as we saw that skill really come out. But I mean, what a game from MK too. That no move game was seriously impressive.
Absolutely, and the NMPZ game too. I mean, he had one gaff in New Zealand on the high multis, but realistically, his guesses before that were incredibly impressive, super consistent. Both players were, so MK is not going anywhere.
Yeah, definitely not. We'll see him make his way into the top 12, I'm sure. I believe in it. I believe in it happening. But guys, we do get another match here, which is very exciting for us. We're gonna get Debre. We're gonna get Skill Issue. Debre hasn't gotten any wins yet. He's only played 2 matches, though, to my understanding. So this could be good for him. Any thoughts here, Jake?
Yeah, Debre definitely needs to hit the ground running now that he's lost his first 2 matches. But we all know Debre. We all know how good he is. And we know he can bounce back. Skill Issue has also had a pretty slow start. He's played more matches than Debre has. But I think still, I want to say he's on like 5 points through 5 matches or something like that. So he's also going to be wanting to step it up. And he knows that he needs to do that. So we'll see which player comes out on top here.
Yeah, we do see that 4 out of 11 games won, that 36% win rate. So Skill Issue definitely does need some wins here.
Yep.
But
and again, like I said, you're probably going to be wanting to aim for roughly a 66% win rate if you want to reach that top 12. So both players definitely need to step it up. Especially Debre. I mean, he's 0 for 4, so he needs to start winning now for sure, and he knows that.
Yeah, this is going to be a really important matchup for both of these players who are kind of lower there on that bracket. And again, it's that 0% win rate. We can see here our 32nd and 39th player. But again, Debre only playing 2 games so far, 2 matchups, I should say. So this could be a good moment for him to maybe make a comeback, but also Skill Issue really needs that to lock in and move up the ladder as well. I'm excited to see how this goes. Hopefully we get that Debre. We do get the Debre NMPZ hat. I was just going to say I hope we see it, and we do see it. The players are in. They're off to the races.
Yep. And already we see the players taking their time more than they did in the last game. Of course, this is an urban round, so we might see a couple insta guesses from the players in the next few rounds, but both players getting Riga there, round 1.
We go next. Very good guesses to start us off here.
Already more rural. We'll see if somebody guesses. Looks like it's going to be Debre who goes in.
Yeah, Debre decides to not move here.
Thailand, I like the guess. We have the Gen 4 camera. You see that sort of temple-looking thing in the background, so it definitely makes perfect sense for Thailand. Really nice guess from Debre. No move. Wow.
Really amazing guess there, but both players pretty close. We go next. Debre holds his little lead now. Round 3, 2 times damage. Both players opt to move quickly in what appears to be an Indonesia round here. We did see some Indonesian flags, some Indonesian language there.
Does he know? He does. Yep. So Skill Issue sees Kabupaten Malacca, which maybe, yeah, anyway. That is a 2nd level subdivision that is on the island of Timor, which Skill Issue has it. I feel weird saying that word on stream because it means something bad in another language, but it's just, yep, really nice guess from Skill Issue. Finding that info and using it beautifully.
Yeah, very, very nice. Debre still with a good region guess, though, just kind of swimming near the Nusa Islands. Works out for him in the sense that he doesn't take too many points, and we move on to round 4.
This looks like the Azores to me. We have Gen 2 camera. It's Portugal, but we have coast in the distance, and we have this sort of green. Hard for me to explain, but the Azores have a very sort of distinct feel to them. So Debre's already zoomed into them. He's probably just trying to figure out which island it's on. I'm not sure if Skill Issue knows or not, but this is definitely very likely to be the Azores, I would say.
I agree with that for sure. Again, Debre zoomed in there. Skill Issue hasn't opened the map yet, but will he go there? It seems like he is. Seems like he's possibly at least debating it. Yep, he is. Debre opting... Oh, he did pick an island.
Yep. Those are the two islands with coverage, so Debre switched to the other one. And, unfortunate for him there.
Oh, that is an unfortunate switch from Debre when he was on that island for the majority of that round. Moving off of it last second.
Debre already under some pressure. He's lost about half of his health, but certainly don't count him out. This looks like Brazil, possibly, I want to say.
I believe so. It did seem like we have possibly the ocean there, or could have been a big river. We'll see. I guess big river seems to be the move. Or lake. A Tocantins guess quickly.
Yep, he's got an area code 63, which is the Tocantins area code. We'll see if Skill Issue finds the same thing or not. Looks like he may not, so he's going to have to make a guess here.
And this could end up being a big comeback, actually, for Debre. He's in Piauí. Skill Issue. Debre is going to be much closer there. 3 times damage. It is far north. But that's still decent damage, and they're pretty close to even now. But Debre with a good lead.
Yep. I was going to say it looks weirdly Amazonian for Tocantins, but that's why. It could not have been more north within the state.
Makes a lot of sense. Round 6 here, 3.5 times damage. Quick zoom from Debre, no waiting around. Goes into Bangladesh. Skill Issue. Trying to see if we can find any signs, but there's really not much to go off of. Decides to just zoom to. Click middle, go next. We'll see where Debre follows.
Wouldn't shock me if he goes somewhere similar. Slightly northwest, but didn't want to take any big risks. Debre just a little bit closer.
Works out for him, though. Debre now with a decent, around 1,000-point lead. Go into round 7. 4 times damage.
Yep. Both players seeing these town signs. They're going to be in Latvia. I think we had an A with a bar over it, which is a letter in Latvian, not in Lithuanian, although Skill Issue is scanning Lithuania, so that's interesting, because I'm pretty sure it's Latvia with this signage.
Yeah, I was just going to say that as well. Debre seems to have recognized that and is guessing in Latvia.
Go west. I don't know if he found a town name or if he's just trying to region guess west, but it's definitely interesting that he went that far west within Latvia. Skill Issue's in the wrong country. Oh my gosh, he found it.
Oh, wow, and he found it. He's on it. That's going to win him the game. Skill Issue does not look happy about that. He was sure it was Lithuania. You can see his surprise there, his shock on his face. We move on to no move. What an impressive guess from Debre.
Yeah, just a bit of a mental blunder from Skill Issue there. I think he just kind of tunnel visioned, thought it was Lithuania, and didn't really look back. Debre, he must have, maybe one of the town names he either scanned for it and saw it, or he just knew where it was. But yeah, really, really impressive from Debre, and I think it deserved a way to win right there in that Latvia round.
Agreed. We'll send our players into no move here now. Debre, I would say is possibly the better no move player, but we'll see.
Again, I think it's pretty close. Yeah, I would say this one really could go either way.
It could go either way for sure. Debre has a lot of that niche knowledge that helps from a lot of mapping. So we'll see if that pays off for him. We have a Piranha guess versus a Mato Grosso do Sul guess, and it's just Sao Paulo. Couple points down, round 1. We're going to move to round 2.
Yep. Not too much to speak of in that round. Solid guesses from both players in Brazil. This is interesting. Yeah, I like the Oman guess here. It makes sense. There's a lot of new coverage in Oman. It does look very strange. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like anything I've ever seen in, like, the UAE or Qatar, for example. So I think Oman is a good guess here. Yeah.
Great guess from Skill Issue there. Decent bit closer. That's 1,000 points down to Debray. Not the place you want to be in. We move on to round 3.
Insta-zoom from Debray here. Into Mexico. Makes a lot of sense. Dry landscape. Sort of rock walls over there. We have cacti. So this area northwest of Mexico City makes a lot of sense. I think I like Debray's guess here.
I do too. Skill Issue not too far away though, but Debray, what an amazing guess right there. That's what I'm talking about, the sort of niche knowledge of just being able to get those amazing region guesses based off of that skill he's accumulated from map making. Seeing so much of the world, trying to find interesting locations, helps him out so much when he plays.
Sure does. That looks like a Kyushu plate. Yeah, we have the electricity plates on Japanese poles are regional, and that specific plate that the players see is a Kyushu plate. So both players can be on the island of Kyushu. Very nicely done.
Nice little island there. Little island round. Would have been cool if one of them got that, but would have been very difficult.
Yeah, that's hard to figure out for sure.
Especially no move. We go into round 5. We're just in a forest here. We do have a pole. We have 2 poles possibly, which will help in some capacity.
Yeah. I thought US here. Yeah, maybe Canada. Tough to tell though. I mean, we're in the middle of a forest, so this round could even decide the game. We'll see where the players end up.
Yeah, it's always interesting when one of the players zooms in quick into the map and you have an idea of their guess and the other hasn't even opened it yet. So really we have no idea what Skill Issue's thinking yet. But Debray near Montreal, I do like that. I like the US or Canada. I think that makes the most sense with the poles and the type of road we have and the general foliage. But we will see. Debray opting to move to Maine and lock it in. Skill Issue looks lost, but going in New York, that's going to be pretty close. Not too big of a difference, but 3 times damage. Let's see what happens here. It is Nova Scotia. Wow.
One country challenge, but Debray still takes the 2,000 points. Very solid main guess.
Yeah, very good guess. I mean, that's just a guess based strictly off of vibes there for the part of the world, and it works out pretty well for him. Debray, quick zoom again here into the UK. At least the water between Ireland and the UK, I should say, as of now. We'll see where he opts to go. He's going to just go England, far north. Skill Issue. Where will he follow? Makes a lot of sense here. You have these kind of big farmland areas divided by hedges and bushes,
oh my
and
gosh,
it works
and it
out
works.
amazingly for him.
That's a great guess from Skill Issue. I don't think I would have been down there at all. It's really impressive that he picked up the vibes for Southwest England there.
Very impressive guess there. As we move on to round 7 now, Skill Issue has the lead.
An urban round here, I want to say it's just South Africa, yeah. Although it's interesting. Maybe with this hilly greenness, maybe it's closer to Durban, or maybe it's just near Johannesburg. Oh yeah, those poles, that pole that Debray sees, I think is more of a northeastern thing, so I do like Debray's guess. Skill Issue with a similar idea. Debray's a good deal further east though, we'll see. It's just north.
It is just north. Debray just slightly closer. Evens it out though. Evens it out. That's good for Debray there. As we move on to our next round. Round 8. Quick zoom from Debray. 4.5 times damage. If we see a pretty big difference here in Mexico, it seems. We could see a lot of points. Big country, big points, Jake.
Yeah, big country, big points. Is there a coast to the east, or... No, maybe not. It could be a lake, actually. Yeah, okay. It looks like there might be water, so I understand the guess here from Debray.
It's a good guess. We'll see if it pays off. Skill Issue. Looking Oaxaca now.
Huge difference now.
Huge difference. Debray on top of it will win him the game. And he stays calm and collected while he does it. He's picked up his first match win. Impressively, I will say, in a 2-0.
No, that's an incredible guess, that last one from Debre. Getting right on the exact correct lake in Jalisco. That's an amazing, amazing guess. Debre started 0-4 in his games. He knew he had to step up, and he stepped up in a big way there.
Yeah, definitely did. I know him. The mental can get to him sometimes, so having that first day be all losses was probably not great for him. I'm sure he spent the week grinding, locking in, and it paid off here.
Sure did. Yep. I think we can expect a lot more great stuff from Debre in the future.
Yeah, agreed. Very, very impressive. I'm excited to see him maybe make his way up the world ranking. We'll see what happens, but that's our first 2 matches of the day, guys. I hope you enjoyed. We're going to go to a little break, and then when we come back, we'll have some more matches for you, but we'll take a look quickly at that schedule that we're going to take a look at for when we do come back before that break. So, quickly, that is my bad. We did see Blinky and Captain get the 2-0. We saw Rix and Pan get the 2-0 off stream. That's a pretty impressive 2-0s.
Yeah, Blinky, I mean, no huge surprise. Blinky just doing Blinky things. And then Rix over Pan 2-0, that's a big one for Rix. Those two are probably players who are going to be fighting closer to that sort of top 12 kind of border area. So I think that's an important match and a big win for Rix.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I did assume we had a break here, but one of our games got delayed, so that actually means we get to take a look at it, how it's going. There was a bit of a delay, so chat, that's actually kind of great for us. We get a little more content here. And we hop right on in to a no-move Swan Gambit up. Massive points, Trichter. Almost out.
But Trichter did take the moving game, so he's definitely not out of this yet. I want to say this is Swan Gambit's first match of the league.
Yeah, I haven't seen him yet, so this is good. He could get to a 1-1 here and take us to an NMPZ. We'll see what happens. We are in round 9 already. 5.5 times damage. That's pretty insane. So we'll see. Trichter needs to be closer at all. If he's not, he's out.
Yep. And then he needs to get a great guess in round 10. See if he can survive round 9.
We'll see. It does seem like we're on just a South Africa round. We're hopping right in on that. Oh, and Swan is closer. Wow. That takes us to an NMPZ. That's fun. We get a little NMPZ action now, right away. Instead of a break. We love that.
And I know for sure that Trichter fancies himself NMPZ, one of the best NMPZ players in the world, so I think he's okay with this for sure.
Yeah, he'll lock in here. I believe round 1. This is the only image. We do possibly have a Romania poll there. Holy poll, as we call it. Possibly a Hungary, though, it seems Trichter might be considering, or he's just considering Western Romania. Amongst the holy poles, Romania's are usually the widest, which is helpful to know.
Yep. And they often have those white bases. We do see some white paint at the bottom, so I think probably Romania's more likely here.
They both seem to be pretty far west, though, pretty close to Hungary, which I do like. It's a flatter area there, and this looks like a pretty flat landscape, though we are amongst buildings.
Swan Gambit is southwest. Oh, they're actually both in the same area now.
Oh,
both in Craiova.
Oh, yeah, they've moved. Another flatter area of Romania.
Wow. How about that? I wonder what led them both to guess in the exact same city.
3 points.
Each other's little wave emojis there.
3 points. You gotta do the wave. We've mentioned it before, but if you guess right on top of your opponent, you have to wave. You have to. It's just part of the game. We move to round 2.
What is this? Is that an orange signpost? That's interesting. I associate those with Belgium, but I don't know. Victor looks like he's in France. Yeah, hard for me to see the signpost, so this is a tricky round, but
yeah, not a lot of information to go off of there. Just seems like we have a Paris guess.
I mean, Trichter's Belgian, and he's not in Belgium, so I'm guessing it's probably not Belgium. But
yeah. We can trust
See,
that.
Swan Gambit is currently zoomed in on Africa, so I'm not really sure what's going on there, but he'll probably, yeah.
He's gonna move, yeah. Gonna go France as well, and he's gonna go Paris now, while Trickster has actually moved off of Paris, but these will be close guesses. 1.5 times damage, we shouldn't see too many points.
I wouldn't think so. Interested to see where it ends up being, though. Paris it is.
It is Paris, and Trickster moved off of it.
Nice guess from Swan Gambit. Always click capital, I guess.
Yeah, it works out. You either click on the name of the country or you just click capital. That's it, guys. That's all you need. Round 3 here, 2 times damage.
Oh boy.
Very rural.
Yeah, this one's going to be interesting. I'm not really sure what I'm looking at here. I could see Turkey or... I don't know. I'm going to stop trying to guess because I don't know what's going on.
This is a hard round. Oh, both players are quite confused as well.
Trickter's talking to himself. He has no idea. Swan Gambit's kind of just staring.
I think we see like 3k damage here. I believe we could see like 2 different countries or something crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, this looks difficult. Both players haven't even opened the map. Trickster's finally opening it, just clicking Sweden or Norway.
Oh my gosh.
Who's going Sweden? Swan, where's Swan gonna go? 4 seconds, Swan, get a pin down. He goes Turkey.
He is going Turkey.
And that ends it out. It is Turkey.
Put me in, coach.
Put Jake in with
He
2
wins
times
it.
damage. Swan wins on round 3. Trickster drops the GG. A difficult round.
Wow. Crazy round. Yeah.
Wow.
What an insane way to end that one. Trickster definitely not happy with the result there. But Swan Gambit, in his first ever match at the World League, takes the 2-1 victory.
Yeah, very impressive. I love that we got a little view in on that one at the end. That's exciting. A nice, fun little NMPZ. That's great. That is so nice to see. Well, let's take a look at the schedule maybe one more time, just to like see what went down there and what we have coming up. So again, we did just see that Swan and Trickster 2-1. Now we are going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, as we can see, we're going to get Dev and Skill Issue on the main stream. That's going to be a good one. Any thoughts there?
I'm excited for that one too. Again, both players kind of on the edge of maybe where they need to be. Both very, very much looking for victories, needing victories, and see who can pull it off.
Yeah, should be exciting. We'll take a short little break, and then we'll come back to watch that matchup. Stay tuned. See you soon. Short break. Hope you enjoyed, but we're back. More games to come today. I'm excited to be here again. I'm Bloom, joined by Jake Lyons, here to take you through the slot 2 of the World League. Let's take a quick look at our schedule now that we're back, see what's coming up. Dev, skill issue. We did see skill issue play earlier today. Debris did beat him 2-0. He comes right back with another match. He's gonna want to win here.
Yeah, definitely. Skill issue's played quite a few matches so far. I think more so than most of the players in the league, and hasn't been having a great time. You know, he's been okay, but he definitely needs to get some more wins on the board. Dev as well has had some wins, some losses, but it's a very, very important match for both players.
Yeah, let's take a look at our standings here now that some matches have played out. Again, we have some light highlights here on the players that we're getting to see in this broadcast and where they have moved around. Finn now on 11 points, MK 9 points.
How did Finnbar manage to win the match and go down in the standings? I feel like that should be an up arrow. I don't know what happened there, but yeah. Again, Finnbar and MK, both excellent players, both still keeping their spots in that top 10. And yeah, again, we see skill issue pretty far down. He's got 5 points through 6 matches, which is definitely kind of below where he wants to be. Dev with 5 points in 3 matches, so the same amount of points in half as many matches. So Dev's trying to sort of keep up the good work here.
Yeah, definitely wants to keep up that good work, definitely wants to continue to move up, but skill issue in a position where he does really need those wins. As we mentioned, 6 matches is quite a lot compared to some of our other players, most of our other players. But, you know, going to be exciting to see this matchup. Again, we're getting some matchups where players really kind of need these comebacks. We had some exciting ones earlier, like MK Finn, some of our top, but we've got 40 players. That's quite a few players playing here. Dev finally making an appearance again. Should be exciting to see. Let's take a look at Dev and some of his stats so far versus skill issue. He's got that 56% win rate and a 21-second average guess time. There must be a thing. The Americans love those quick guess times, the MK 15 and the Dev 21 seconds. Not too far behind.
I guess so, yeah. We see 28 from skill issue, not far behind, but 21 really is quite fast. I mean, MK is kind of the the benchmark for the Insta-Sender. I don't think anyone's going to be faster than 15. 21 seconds is still a player who does not move a lot in the moving games and just kind of guesses very quickly based off vibes.
And both of these players above 50% accuracy. That's a good stat there. I mean, that means they're relatively consistent there, which is exciting. But really, that big differential is that win percentage. We can see where our 2 players stand again, both with the same amount of points, but a difference in the amount of matches that they've played. So really, Dev sitting in a much better position there with half as many matches. See how this fares when they get into moving.
Yep. So we start in what appears to be Jordan here. We have the black car, we have a divided road with sort of yellow and white lines. All of this fits very, very well for Jordan. And I like the guess from Dev here and from skill issue. They're in similar areas.
Similar areas, do like it. Oh, wow.
Ooh, 5K.
A quick 5K from Dev, and he looks pretty unfazed, actually. We go into round 2 quickly. A very impressive start there from Dev.
No better way to start than that.
That is true. We do have what appears to be a Dominican Republic round here. Both players are going to know this. That is a pretty distinct Google car right there. Players in quick, and the Dominican Republic doesn't have too much coverage. It's mainly just in 2 main cities there, Santiago and Santo Domingo. So they recognize the city, they click, they go next.
Yep. Not much to write home about in that round, but we see some more interesting countries coming up here in the multipliers.
Yeah. Round 3, 2 times damage. This reminds me of a southern Chile by the looks of it. Yep. We do see a Chile pole actually right there, which is quite helpful, and some road signs too. Again, as you get farther south in Chile, you do get more green. The farther north, you're in the Atacama Desert, so that definitely helps you with your region guesses. We do have a quick send, though, just near Santiago there from skill issue.
Yeah, I would think closer to Santiago, maybe a bit south of it, but not by too far. Players seem to agree with that, going in very similar areas here.
Yep, thinking the same thing. Dev a little closer. Round 4 coming up. Dev holds close to flawless there.
Interesting round here.
Yeah, this is interesting. There's some English there on that sign.
Yeah, is it Italy? Wait, what? This round is really weird.
Part of me thought it was Tunisia,
isn't it? Yeah, no, that's.
Yes, it is. We're on a main road now. We do have some signs. Tunisia makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah, it does. The starting location was definitely pretty weird in like some kind of industrial area or something. But yeah, now that they're out on the main road, fairly evident that it's Tunisia, and both players will, of course, know that.
Looks like Skill Issue just found a sign there. Does he recognize anything on
Sfax,
there?
Though. Carthage is Tunis, so it's going to be much more north.
Yeah, Dev's just going to be right on it. He knew that info. That's going to be 1,500 damage to Skill Issue. Only on round 4. Dev now holding almost a 2k lead.
And we have a Russia here. Russia's always major. Big country, big points. And immediately zooming into the road northwest of Irkutsk, and he's just going to go for it. Again, we see that 21-second average guess time coming into play here. He's not wasting any time. Okay.
They're both in a very similar area.
Yep.
Dev a little closer. Just a little closer. He holds his lead. And we go into round 6. The multis are getting high now.
Okay, it looks like a Spanish sign that Consejo de, let's say, Arbon or something. I don't know what
Skill
that
Issue
is.
not really moving too much from spawn here, actually. Seems like he's just going to make a region guess. Dev is moving, trying to find something, and he does get a road here. How helpful that will be, we'll see. Seems like that's a pretty small road.
Does it say EP? I mean, because normally the roads have abbreviations named after towns, but I don't know what EP is. Doesn't ring a bell for me.
A good guess from both of them. Dev still a little closer, still holding his lead.
Yep. Ends up being Galicia near Portugal. Makes sense. It looked a lot like Portugal. I'm still not sure what the EP abbreviation was, but who knows?
Maybe somebody in chat knows. Maybe they recognize the town. They can let us know. We move on to round 7, 4 times damage. Skill Issue really needs a big comeback here, but with that multi, as I just mentioned, 4 times damage, that could be doable if their guesses are pretty separate. Skill Issue locking in quick near Vladivostok, just a bit north of it. Dev has yet to follow, yet to open the map. He opens it up. He's in a similar location, so we shouldn't see too many points.
Yep. Makes sense. Both players in the same area. Ends up being kind of downtown North Korea, as GeoGuessr players would say. But again, not too much damage on offer there, but time kind of running out here for Skill Issue. Only 3 rounds to go.
Ops just make a quick guess here on round 8. Not too much going on. They do recognize the low-cam, forest look. Switzerland makes sense. They lock it in. He ends up being a little closer off that quick plonk. That's good for him, at least for the mental. Takes a little bit more damage down to Dev, but Dev's still a big lead going into round 9. He needs a pretty big comeback here.
Yep. Skill Issue hoping for a big country. Difficult round. He's got India. That certainly could be something.
Big country, big points, Jake.
Big enough to make a difference for sure. See if they can correctly identify the language. Both of them think that it's Telugu. It is Telugu. Unfortunate for Skill Issue there.
Yeah, Dev is gonna take it and put Skill Issue on 184 health. This would be an extremely difficult comeback here for Skill Issue on round 10. Skill Issue's main option here is just to guess quick. Seems like he's gonna do it. He just opens the map, zooms in. It is Brazil. It is his home country. Is that gonna help him out?
Bloom.
Yeah, big country, big points.
This is round 10, but this Brazil is big enough. And the guesses are different enough.
Oh, Dev closer. Pretty dominant performance there from Dev in the moving game. Winning it. GG's, we move on to no moving.
Yep, if that had been more south where Skill Issue had guessed, he would have been able to win there. But I think he felt he had to take a risk, make kind of an extreme guess, given it was round 10. And it didn't quite pay out for him. But really, really impressive and consistent game one from Dev.
Let's see how these players fare now on no move. Quick look. Yeah, both
definitely
players.
Kamchatka. You have this sort of dark gravel road. It's always Kamchatka.
It's
Both
a look.
Will know that.
They know it, but Dev almost on top of it. Very impressive. Moving on to round 2.
Dev is locked in right now. He's playing incredibly well. Ooh, boy, another Russia. I like the Novosibirsk guess. There's definitely some Gen 3 winter coverage in that area, so I totally understand that, but Dev going a completely different place. He's in Bryansk.
Wow,
there. Huge damage here.
Yeah, this is going to be huge damage. I don't think it'll be game.
It's close.
It's so close to it being game.
Wow.
Dev on 24 health after such an impressive guess from Skill Issue. What more could you want from a match of no move GeoGuessr? We move on to round 3, 2 times damage now. It's not impossible for a Dev comeback. We will see though, he needs to get closer every single round if he's gonna stay alive. We might just see an NMPZ. Quick volley lock from Dev. Where will Skill Issue follow?
Bali on the sign. We have Balinese language at the top and it says the word Bali. I don't know if Skill Issue sees it or not.
He might not have seen it. Is he? Oh no, he does. He's gone Bali as well.
Oh, no.
Skill Issue is slightly closer, but 2 times damage. Surely it's not over. Surely it's not over. He goes down to 12 health.
Oh my. Well, that would have been a brutal way for Dev to lose, so I'm kind of glad it didn't end there.
Agreed. We're on round 4 now. Dev on 12 HP. What appears to be the Philippines. Concrete road, very common. These chevrons very common there as well, especially on that sort of red pole.
Yep.
Dev trying to look at whatever he can.
Needs to be closer here. Goes Minda now, and he loses. Dang.
Wow. Skill Issue takes the game on Philippines. It ends up being far north, both players farther south.
Wow. Impressive showing from Skill Issue there. Honestly, I probably would have favored... I mean, I think Dev considers himself stronger in NM and NMPZ, so especially after winning the moving, I expected maybe Dev to go 2-0, but Skill Issue barely even lost a point in that second game.
Very impressive. We'll see how they fare in NMPZ, though. It's hard to make a solid prediction on this. Might come down to a confidence game, if anything.
Yep. This could be another Russia here, or maybe it's a Ukraine. Hard to say. Both players taking their time on this one.
I do like the Russia or Ukraine shout. I think those are 2 good guesses here. We'll see if the players do agree. They're both zooming in at the same time now here. We have an Irkutsk guess from Skill Issue. Dev kind of zoomed in near Chelyabinsk. Nope, he wants to go farther east. Space guess.
Similar areas, I think, for both players at the moment. Makes sense with the elevation going eastern Russia.
We'll see here. The time does run out. Only 10 seconds on the clock. Both players taking in whatever they can in these last seconds. Neither has fully locked in a guess, but they are close, as mentioned by Jake. So we shouldn't see too many points. Skill Issue a tiny bit closer.
Downtown Cheetah. But, yep, again, very similar guesses from both players. Very reasonable guesses, given the landscape. Not too much to talk about in that first round. See what they can do here. Oh my.
Round 2. Difficult
like
one.
That.
I really
I was
like
gonna say Sri Lanka. I like it too.
I do really like that guess. Skill Issue has not opened the map yet. Where will he follow suit? We'll see. He goes Sri Lanka 2. Wow, and it's Mexico. Yucatan Mex. Quick little 0.
Wow.
Love Dev laughing about that a little bit.
I would have been Sri Lanka too. So
yeah.
Wow, what a crazy round. Oh boy, Brazil now maybe?
I do like Brazil. Dirt color makes sense. We have a piranha, but then a quick guess farther north from Skill Issue works out. The home country round win. That's 1600 damage. That's our first decent hit of the game so far.
Yep. Skill Issue in his home country getting solid chunk of damage off of Dev, but still a lot of work to be done here. What are we looking at here?
We are getting some crazy NMPZ rounds. I do like the mechs. The quick locks.
Oh my god, Skill Issue.
What is that guess from Skill Issue?
Oh my goodness. What? That's
wow.
incredible.
What an impressive guess. What a fast guess, and he's on it. I love that. I love to see that.
I mean, the guess, I like the guess. I mean, obviously I like the guess. It was 3 kilometers away, but I think for whatever reason, it almost looked like California to me on my first look, and I was like, why does it look like that? Because like center of Mexico doesn't usually. So I feel like Sinaloa makes a lot of sense. Maybe I'm making things up, but anyway, really impressive guess from Skill Issue, and deserves 2-1 victory.
Yeah, very impressive. I love to see that. I mean, and it went so quick too. I mean, really, that match was only, what, 15 minutes probably total. Quick guesses, some quick overall games, and a quick win there at the end from Skill Issue. And he needed that for the points. That's going to be really good for him, especially mentally, to get into that. We do get to watch another match, which is going to be really exciting. We are going to get to take a look at MK versus Moo. We got to see MK earlier today. We love his playstyle. Some people hate playing against it, but we love to watch it. And he's up against Moo, who's been playing amazingly as well. So this is going to be a really, really fun match to watch. Again, that average guess time of 15 seconds is insane with a 62% precision. I mean, these are very impressive stats from MK, but Moo impressive stats as well.
Yeah, absolutely. 63% precision, so about the same as MK. Average guess time is about twice as long. The MK, what's so impressive about MK is like, he's got the same accuracy. He's got about the highest accuracy of anyone we've seen, and about half the time of anyone we've seen, or maybe even a third of the time, which is really amazing. But Moo, a little bit more calculated, especially in the moving games, and we're probably going to see, well, we're going to see him do as much moving as he can against MK, but it'll be interesting to see how these playstyles clash.
Definitely, and Moo has that really high win percentage, which is impressive, and you can see that has him in 5th place in the overall world ranking. MK not too far behind, but definitely would like a comeback right now. We start us off, we're into moving.
Yeah, definitely of the 3 games, the one that Moo probably expects and feels like he needs to win. Needs to get off on the right foot here. And a nice region guess to start it off.
Very nice, we love to see it.
Downtown Cork, shout out Finnbar.
Shout out Finnbar. I like Moo's camera placement there. You even saw he looked down at it after that round win. Going to round 2 here. 1.5 times damage. This is an interesting one. Seems to be possibly southern Chile.
Chile, yeah. Okay, as soon as he knows the country, he just goes ahead and guesses. Moo moving, seeing if he can find anything, but he probably won't get much. Gotta get a guess in. More south, I think. Yep.
Impressive guess there from MK. That takes 1,100 points off of Moo's health, only on round 2. But, you know, it is moving. Moo and moving is going to be great. I can make that joke as many times as I want, chat. Gotta love it.
Moo is a phenomenal moving player, so he's going to be hoping to get as much information in these rounds as possible. I think he wants more urban rounds, more signage. That's going to help him get the edge over MK. He's also an amazing Japan player, so I would expect probably a good guess from Moo here too. MK sending Kanto, which makes sense. The pole tops look right for that sort of Tokyo area. We'll see what Mu does. It's a little bit more of a specific guess, which makes sense given the flatness. I like the East guess.
I like it too. It does work out for Mu. Great guess. Little mini comeback there, at least for the mental.
Yep.
MK, 5,300. Mu, 4,800 points. Pretty close.
Pretty close. Lots to play for here. Looks like maybe a Portugal. Again, MK just going to send fast. This is what we see from him all the time. Mu's going to move for as long as he can. Just hope that he runs into something useful.
Just goes back to spawn to make a no-move guess. Ends up in Portugal as well. Makes a lot of sense. MK a little bit closer. Chip damage.
Yep. As long as Mu can make guesses that are good enough to stay in contention, all he needs is 1 or 2 decent rounds with signage, and he can take the lead. That's what he's banking on here. And again, this is not to discredit Mu's no-moving ability. He's phenomenal there as well, but his comparative advantage still is in the moving mode.
Definitely. And they're right on top of each other. Not much there. We're just going to go next. 39. 39.
5 rounds gone. Still not too much to speak of. MK with a slight lead, but especially with the multis increasing, there's very little in this one. Got a Senegal here, which is interesting. I would say it's probably just kind of towards the middle. Yeah.
I like the road that MK's on, yep. I like it a lot. Lines up with the compass. I'm surprised MK even moved at all. I was expecting him to pretty much make a pretty instant NM guess.
Is Mu the town name?
Does he? I don't know. He's much farther east. Is he going to keep it there? He moves it last second. And it's in between them. It's in between them.
Right in between them.
32. Little chip damage, back and forth.
A little bit more. He just needs a good sign in one of these rounds. That's what he's waiting for.
That's what he needs. Round 7. The multis are high now. 4 times damage. Really anybody's game. We're deep in it now. MK with a quick guess right near Vladivostok. Mu to follow. Same area. Debating farther south.
He's considering it. Oh, is he going to go for it? Oh my gosh.
Oh, he might.
It's bold.
Oh, we respect the bold guess. It's guesses like that where you make the bold decision that you do need to have. They can win you the game, and sometimes they don't work out.
I like the risk, though. I like the risk.
We love the risk. We love to see it. It does put Mu on 3k health, but realistically, this late in the game, he was already down. He needed something like that to possibly give him a comeback. We do have an Ecuador here, so we shouldn't see too many points again. We're reaching our round limit of 10 rounds. Our players only have 10 rounds to prove themselves in each game mode.
Again, yeah, this is not what Mu wants to see. He's starting to make more sort of risky guesses now that he's behind. He knows he needs to get those points back, and he's, just unfortunate for him, because, again, Mu's a better moving player, but this moving duels mode just doesn't really allow good moving players to sort of show their full skill if, players like MK sending so fast. Again, it's the right strategy, and he's doing the right thing, but it's definitely tough for players like Mu to shine in a game like this.
Mu with a quick insta-lock here, quicker than MK when he actually looks quite confused. He's going Kenya?
Oh, he's wrong.
Mu's gonna win
Cambodia.
The game here.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Wow. Mu can't believe it.
Mu cannot believe it. The relief that we see on the cams. I love that we have the cams. I love getting to see our players react to stuff like that. Mu decided to flip the script, put the pressure on MK instead, and it paid off.
What happened was Mu got into an area of coverage that was with that bad quality camera, which is found in Cambodia and India, a couple other places, notably not found in Kenya. But I think MK went the other direction or didn't get that far, and he didn't see the same thing. All he had was just a landscape, and it was a tough one to reach and guess.
Tough one for sure. We do move on to no move. We know MK is very comfortable here. He goes in quick. Both players near each other in peninsular Thailand.
Yep, I like the peninsula guess. Amazing guess there from MK.
Very good, very quick guess from MK. That's the MK Classic. We go to round 2.
That is what he does best. But again, Moo also one of the best no-moving players in the world, so absolutely is able to keep pace. This is interesting. Is this like Alaska or like northern British Columbia? Oh no, I'm so wrong. Oh no. Oh no.
The far Chile.
No. Oh, that's brutal for me. I didn't see the language.
It's all good.
And the polls as well.
The polls. It's okay. This is why we cast. Oh wow, and they're right on top of it. Really impressive 5K from Moo and the 4998 from MK. They're right there.
Yep. Beautiful 5K from Moo.
Round 3.
Canada.
MK does a very quick little look around and then goes right on into the map.
Yep. Moo with a similar idea. He is Canadian, of course, but I don't think he knows the name of the lake or anything on the sign. A bit further west. It might have been findable, actually. It was on the map.
Some points down to Moo again. That's still pretty close here. Round 4, 2.5 times damage on an Australia by the looks of it.
I think there's that one road in Western Australia, yeah, that one inland road. This is basically the one outback road in Australia where you get Generation 3 coverage, so both players see that, and I guess in roughly the same place here. Oh my gosh.
But MK on it. So impressive. MK, after that loss there going Kenya on Cambodia, said, you know what, alright, I'm sitting up in my chair. I'm not out of this yet. Round 5.
Okay.
3 times
Urban
damage.
US here.
Yep. Quick Boise lock from MK.
Wonder if he saw something, or...
I think it's a vibe guess. We'll see. Oh, they're both going Boise. What did they see?
I don't know. Wow, that's impressive.
Very impressive. 81 down to MK.
MK is just... He is making some incredible guesses in this no-move game.
We'll move on to Japan in round 6. Very quick lock from MK. Moo, very good at Japan too, as we mentioned earlier. They both seem to be right in the same area, though.
Yep. They see those Hokkaido plates on the poles. Hokkaido plate is generally a little bit larger than the plates in the rest of Japan. Both players saw the large plate and sent Hokkaido.
Very nice. I mean, even though this game has in some sense felt sort of close, especially with like Moo getting a 5K earlier, MK with a very, very big lead, almost flawlessing, and Moo less than half health. We go into another southern Chile.
Yep. We got rhubarb, so I think MK's on the 5K, and Moo's probably going to have it too. But you get these sort of rhubarb, almost cabbage-looking plants on the side of the road. You get those on the island of Chiloé and in the area to the east of it, which I think MK is there. I think Moo's a bit too far south. Yep. That's going to hurt him.
That is going to hurt a lot. Moo on 448 health now. MK really putting on a bit of a masterclass now.
Yeah, this is an incredible performance. He is not giving an inch right now. Urge. I wonder, yeah, looks like the Philippines. I would agree with that. Got some sugar. Is this sugarcane, maybe? Which does suggest maybe Negros, which is where MK has his pin, but I'm not too sure. Moo opting to go a little more north.
This could be a big points. This could be a big points. We'll see who ends up being closer. Moo debating some of the Central Islands.
And
that's gonna win it for MK. We're gonna get an NMPZ here. An impressive game there from MK after that blunder in game 1.
Just see the dominance there from MK. I mean, Moo, again, it's worth repeating that Moo is one of the best NM players in the world, but MK is so good that in that game he was able to make it look easy, basically, and that's hard to do.
Quite hard to do, definitely. I mean, yeah, you did see them guessing on top of each other couple times there, having those similar guesses. Again, we're in NMPZ now. This is the only image they get. We have a Victoria Island possibly there for Moo, if I saw that correctly, versus a more near Seattle, Washington from MK. It pays off for him. Good guess. That's 500 down to Moo, round 1.
Good guess. Vancouver Island also is a solid guess from Moo, but yeah, really, just MK is just, he's not given anything right now. Really amazing guesses.
Round 2, this is our image. Both players, Northern Peru, they're right next to each other. Wow.
Wow. That is impressive.
Very impressive.
So little to go off, and they both immediately know the area. Amazing the quality of the players we see here.
Yeah, gotta love just watching the pros do their thing. Go to round 3. The quick zooms, and they're right near each other again. What are we watching?
I mean, the level of skill here is extraordinarily high. Like, these NMPZ guesses, these are hard guesses to make. These are not easy rounds, but these players are so strong. They just know.
And it shows why they're very close to the top of our world ranking right now as well. I mean, these players are just so impressive. Moving in 5th place currently.
Both of these guys I would expect to see very near the top of the standings by the end of the season.
I agree with
They're
that.
too good not to be. They're so good. Interesting here. Is this Indonesia? Maybe like a Java? Or... Malaysia makes sense too, yeah.
I do like Malaysia as well. They both seem to be near each other again. Guys, this is insane. They just keep making the same guesses. Moo on top of it.
What is the level of play that we're seeing right now? This is incredible.
I mean, this is 2 of our top players here. I mean, World Cup runner-up MK Moo was in the Americas, got out, and grinded for half a year, and now one of the best in the world.
Absolutely. He's really showing that here.
We are around 6.
Colombia makes sense with these sort of wooden fences. You get these a lot in Colombia. But you also see them in countries like Mexico, for example, so you never know for sure. Players definitely taking their time on this one.
We do see them both opting for Colombia by the looks of it. Moo zooming out a bit, but they're really considering everything they can and taking the full time, which is rare, especially for MK.
Very rare. This is probably going to bump his average guess time up by a couple seconds on its own.
Very well might. They both opt Colombia, middle. Yeah. They're both right there. Both seem a little relieved about that, but also simultaneously a bit bummed they weren't the closer one.
Yeah, a little frustrated, I think. I think both of them were probably considering clicking a little bit more northeast.
We go to round 7 here, 4 times damage. This is big. Both of our players above 5,000 health because they just keep guessing on top of each other. MK with a quick lock here, though. Will Moo follow suit nearby? He does.
He does. It's a little bit different, though.
Yeah, bit of a difference for sure. Oh, Moo didn't end up moving it farther north, which got him a little closer, but MK closer nonetheless with 4 times damage. That's our first decent hit of the NMPZ game. We move on to round 8. Quick zoom, Japan from Moo. We love to see it south. MK central.
Different.
This is a big difference. Big country. That's a big hit for Moo with 4.5 times damage. That almost kills MK. He's on 75 health. You see Moo's reaction to that.
Do not bet against Moo in Japan. He
That's
is so
unreal. Moo's trying to continue some pressure here by the looks of it. The quick zoom, but MK to follow as well. They're both pretty close to each other. MK has to be close here to stay alive. 5 times damage, round 9 NMPZ.
Moo is even a little bit closer. He'll win here. Oh, it's MK, though.
Oh, MK's a bit closer. That's taken us to round 10. Moo definitely in a better position here. But with the multi being this high, it could be anyone's game. It really comes down to this. Who's going to get a closer guess on round 10 in Brazil by the looks of it? Big country, big points, Jake.
Big points. We have a round poll, which makes sense for Sao Paulo. That's where both players are right now. MK is max north, maybe just trying to get a little bit of differentiation, make a slightly risky guess. And it's right between them. It's going to be Moo. Takes it on the round limit.
Yeah, takes it on the round limit. Moo happy about that. Lots of relief there that we see. What an insane game. I mean, wow.
Incredible. Honestly, I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say that might have been the highest level game we've seen so far in the entire league. I mean, it's close. We've seen some amazing guesses from Radu and some others, but that NMPZ was really, really impressive. The players were not only right on top of each other almost every round, but they were correct basically every time.
Yeah, seriously impressive. Loved that we got to see that on the main broadcast. Let's take a quick look at the schedule, see what else happened here. We saw skill issue 2v1 dev. We just got to see the Moo MK game. Off screen though, Finnbar with the 2-0 against Debre, Blinky the 2-0 against Pan, Captain the 2-0 against Rix. A bunch of 2-0s.
A lot of 2-0s. Finbar, the 2-0 over Debre, he just keeps on rolling. Finbar still has only lost one individual game, hasn't lost a match yet. Blinky with another 2-0. What else could you expect from Blinky? Just so strong. And then another 2-0 Captain over Rix. Rix took the 2-0 in the first time slot, and then loses 2-0 in the second one, so a bit of a mixed result for him today.
Yeah, definitely. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed. What an amazing segment. What an amazing game to end that out. We're going to send you to a quick break again. Take a rest, snack if you need to, whatever you need. Restroom maybe, I don't know. Do your thing. We'll come back. We'll have more matches for you. 2 more time slots of games. Going to be very, very exciting. We'll see you then. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a good little break. I'm joined again by Jake Lyons, and I am Bloom. We're running you through Slot 2 of the GeoGuessr World League, showing you some hype matches, hanging out. It's a good time. Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look at our schedule and see what we're going to be up to in this slot. We're going to get RC versus Fly Me. Thoughts there, Jake?
Yeah, well, we've seen RC a fair few times already in this second time slot. We've been lucky enough to watch him play. One of the greatest players the game has ever seen, and I would expect him to continue his run of form in this match. Flyme definitely coming in as an underdog. I believe he has 5 points in 4 matches so far, which is not so bad, but still probably needs to be a little bit better if he wants to fight for that top 12, or at least fight for that spot in the Americas Regionals.
Definitely. So this could be a very important match for him, but RC is such a tough opponent. Currently our second place in the entire world ranking. Going to be an exciting match, and later in this slot, we're going to get to take a look at Captain versus Trickster, which will also be great as well. Yep,
that's going to be a good one too. We saw Trickster play earlier today. We haven't gotten the chance to see Captain yet. But again, 2 players very, very strong. I think pretty similar play styles, and also pretty similar skill levels, so that should be a fun one as well.
Definitely. I think one of the things that we've seen there is just a little bit of nerves get to Trickster, but we'll get to that matchup later. It's time for RC versus Flyme, which is going to be so exciting. We love that they both have their personalized t-shirts there on the avatars. At 83% win rate from Radu C, the GOAT. I mean, he has just been dominating right now, and the 68% precision, the highest we've seen so far in this broadcast now that we have these stats. We love that we have the stats.
Yep. Really similar stats, honestly. The precision just a little bit higher for Radu, and I think the average guess time just a little bit lower, but still very similar, which suggests that they're going to play these games fairly similarly. Obviously, the big difference here is the win rate. Radu has just been so strong, so consistent, just outlasting his opponents. Flyme, I mean, clearly, according to these stats, he has not played badly. He just hasn't quite done well enough. So we'll see if he can turn that around in this one.
Yeah, we will see. And I did call RC second, but actually because of matches that have played out since this broadcast started, we do see he's in 4th now. So this is his chance to retake that 2nd place spot and possibly get back up there again. We are right in on moving RC versus Flyme.
And it looks like we're in Russia here. Very exciting and also scary place to start for the players. Radu zooming in to Mansi, I think. We'll see what Flyme does. He's got an intersection. I wonder if he can find a sign here. He might be able to. Radu has not moved.
Yeah, Flyme sees some little signs there. Not much. RC seems to be making just a region guess.
So still out there. Yeah, see, Pitiach. I feel like I've heard of Pitiach, but I can't place it, and I'm not sure Flyme's going to know it either. If anything, I'd say it's a bit north of where Flyme is right now, but we'll see. Yep, a bit west as well.
Works out well for RC. That's 1,000 down to Flyme on only round 1 here.
Flyme was able to move. He was able to get a little bit of info, but wasn't quite able to use it. And then Radu just made a very nice region guess. And a really nice start. Here we have urban Spain by the looks of it. Spanish street signs. Both players kind of getting a lay of the land and then deciding to move around, try and figure out what city they are in.
We'll see what they can see. Both players not finding too much that's important yet. They're both looking at some similar art there by the looks of it. Getting some language, bare minimum.
Yep. Definitely Spanish language, so I think it's unlikely that we'll be in Catalonia or anything like that. But it still leaves a lot of the country as a possibility. Neither player has found much. 15 seconds to play.
Just a Madrid guess, near Madrid guess here, probably from RC, just right outside. Flyme to follow. Both kind of just being near Madrid here.
Oh, he's switching.
Oh,
and he's
the
got
switch.
Yep.
Works out amazingly for Flyme. The relief there on the cam, we love to see it.
Flyme had a sign there in the background, and I think he just, in the last 5 seconds there, he was kind of realizing, trying to used that information. It was a sign, highway sign pointing to different cities, and he realized that Zaragoza was probably a more popular guess. Ooh, Oran. That's a French department. Limey knows exactly where that is, so he's in the correct department in France. I don't know if he knows departments or not, but he doesn't have the sign either way. But his region guess is so good. Look at
Doesn't need the sign and makes such a good region guess. Wow, but Flyme a little closer, 2 times damage, 90 points. Flyme, a very, very small lead there.
Yep. Yeah, just so impressive from Radu. It's like, Flyme found info. Radu didn't even need it. All he needs is a landscape. Is Hong Kong, or is this is going to be interesting? Yeah, I think it's Hong Kong.
You like Hong Kong? Very, very small area here, so we shouldn't see a lot of points. We do have the road name. Are they going to opt to try and line it up? Probably not. We'll see. RC trying to see if he can find anything else. Just going for a pretty central guess there. Flyme drop down in Hong Kong as well. Shouldn't see too many points.
No. Fairly easy place to identify, so especially in a moving game, it's never likely to mean too much. If this was round 10, it would, because of how close they are, but it's not round 10.
This is true. 70. Quick little 70 there. We simply move to round 5. Flyme holding a little lead.
The U.S. Radu, one of the best U.S. players in the world. It's not what Flyme wants to see. He has an area code. I have no idea if he knows them or not. He might, actually. I wonder if he's learned his area codes.
We do have just an Albuquerque quick guess from Flyme. RC did see area code too, but it hasn't informed his guess too much yet, except possibly it has. Making a pretty specific guess here.
Alright.
Oh, wow. Flyme closer. 3 times damage. Pretty decent hit there to RC. Stays alive, though. But what a great guess from Flyme there. Quick, just go near Albuquerque.
Yep. Radu knew it was New Mexico, but tried to make a specific region guess. Didn't quite work out for him, but he's still very much in this game.
Pretty rural here. Far up, you do see a town down, so if they're going to try and move to anything, the move would probably be to get downhill, get into that town if they can. Flyme seems to be trying to get there. Movement's a little slow.
They're not fast moving, which is interesting. I do wonder whether they might have an agreement between them if they have different internet speeds to just not fast move to sort of level the playing field.
Could definitely be a possibility.
Yeah, we'll see if Flyme gets anything here. Circolo, okay, that looks like Italian, which helps. Yep.
That's a sign. I mean, you've got a map right there.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you where we are.
Alpine, although beyond that, I don't recognize anything. See, RC is in the Apennines, whereas Flyme is in the Alps. Oh, he's switching, though. Back down. Yep.
Oh, and RC ends up being closer there. An impressive guess. That's 1,700 down now that the multis have racked up. RC takes a lead.
It's interesting, the sign said Alpine. I assume it just referred to, I don't know, like alpine skiing, for example, is something that exists but doesn't necessarily have to happen in the Alps. But if it was me, there's a chance I would have been baited by that and been like, oh, it says Alpine, it's got to be the Alps, but it was not. Rural Ontario, maybe here? Definitely Canada. Not too sure about the province, though.
I do like Canada. It definitely looks very Canadian. I would say Eastern, not Western. So I do like possibly in Ontario. Seems good. Those like rock walls right there, sort of near the road, is pretty common in Ontario. So maybe that's a helpful clue. Could maybe see New Brunswick, but I think Ontario seems to be like a great guess here. We'll see. Oh, we do have Nova Scotia actually from Flyme.
Okay. Makes sense,
I do like it too.
Switching to Ontario, though.
We'll see. RC hasn't opened the map yet, so we'll see where he wants to go. There's a little sign there. It's not too helpful. He is going to go Ontario also. Wow.
Is it Manitoba?
Northern Manitoba.
Oh my goodness. RC, you can see he's very unhappy with himself for that. Interesting. Wow.
A hard round. Yeah. Very hard round, very crazy round. And we just move on to round 8. But we're pretty close in score here now. RC still with a bit of a lead.
Urban Senegal. Sometimes you get info in Urban Senegal, although it's usually pretty frustrating. A lot of times you'll just see like city names in places, but they don't pop up that often, so sometimes it can just be really frustrating and you won't find anything, but it doesn't stop the players from trying. We'll see what they can do here.
RC just sending it near Thies right now, by the looks of it. Is he going to keep it there?
Dayande, I think, might be a town name that Flyme has. I just don't know how big that is going to be. Maybe too small to find.
Yeah, it might be. We'll see. Both players actually really near each other. Maybe it was on the map. Doesn't seem like it was, but they both just get quite close to each other. That's 36 points. RC keeps his lead.
2 rounds to go. Only 500 points to separate them here. New Zealand, this could be consequential for sure.
Got little road. I like that.
Gen 1 camera for Flyme, which is interesting.
Yeah, for a second there. What are you thinking here? North Island, New Zealand?
I would prefer North Island, personally.
Do you like
Maybe
that?
just
More
kind of
rolling
somewhere
hills?
in the middle. But yeah, the rolling hills, the fences that are sort of, the wooden posts on the fences are sort of more tightly spaced, which is also more common in the north. Awesome card, almost looked like Tasmania, but yeah, I think it's got to be North Island, New Zealand here. Flyme is probably around where I would be.
I do like it.
That's good info.
We're getting there. 10-second left.
Oh, he's going south.
South. Wait, with 5 times damage on a round 9.
It is. Wow.
Wow, it is south. RC finishing it out. Round 9 moving on New Zealand.
Nice guess from RC there. Yep, I think I would have been North Island as well. But that's why he's playing and not me. Really impressive. He's just so consistent in any mode. He's so hard to beat.
So hard to beat. And now we go to no move here, which Flyme has said before he's more comfortable with than moving. So we'll see how this fares now.
But Radu is just so good at everything. Flyme definitely is going to feel like an underdog no matter what mode they're playing.
Yeah.
Bangladesh, I don't know if the players... I don't know if there's any addresses here. Bangladesh, generally what you try and do is you find addresses on buildings. And if you can read the Bengali, then it gives away the area. I don't know if he can read that. There is an address in the red at the bottom of that sign. It's just really, really small. He's trying to read it, though. Radu's kind of just trying to get a lay of the land. Worth noting, Radu is one of the best no-move Bangladesh players, so he's very good at just kind of vibe guessing it.
He does look a little confused, though, actually, surprisingly, when you look at his camera right now.
Yeah, he does. Flyme's just trying very hard to read the sign, although I'm not sure he's going to get much. Similar guesses, especially on round 1, it's not going to matter much. Great guess from RC, though.
Wow, just works out there for RC. Flyme not looking too happy about that. But it's round 1. No multis yet. We do go to round 2. 1.5 times multiplier now.
Russia. Well, this is certainly going to be more consequential than round 1, I would imagine.
We did see a big point differential on a Russia round in the moving game. So we'll see if we see something like that again now here. 1.5 times damage, round 2.
E-type antenna, I think it was, which makes a lot of sense for where Radu is guessing in Yekaterinburg. See what Flyme does here.
Flyme's sort of nearby, but
Similar
farther south.
Yep.
We'll see how this works out for them. It's just right in between them.
Yeah, so Radu in the correct oblast there, but happened to be quite far southwest. So I was wrong. I think that wasn't more consequential than round 1, which is a surprise, but it'll happen.
It'll happen. Round 3, 2 times damage. Looks like we have a pretty quick Switzerland guess here. Southern Switzerland from RC. I do like it. Looks like some of that new Gen 4 coverage, possibly.
Yep, does look like low camera, so that would suggest that this is Switzerland. Both players will know.
Right, near each other. Yeah.
Yep.
Great guesses from both of them. 4. That's 4 damage, chat.
Big 4.
Big 4. Now we are on round 4 with 2.5 times damage.
4's all over the place.
The 4s are everywhere.
Is this urban? Let's see, Lithuania. Yeah, I think there is a flag in the distance. I didn't quite get a good look at it,
But a quick guess from Flyme could have been the Lithuania flag. We'll see. Oh, yep, there is a flag there.
Yeah.
Looks like the Lithuania flag. So RC to follow. But farther west. But again, small country. So shouldn't see too many points. Wow, it is just far west. RC a little closer. 2.5 times damage. That's definitely something. That's 800. RC stays flawless as we go into round 5.
Yep. Just grinded him down so far. Hasn't lost a single point. Slightly better guesses every time. From Radu. This looks like a Japan. We have low cam. It's not easy though. There's not much to go off of here. Flyme down in Okinawa, which I could see it with this vegetation. Yep. It does look very tropical, more so than Japan normally does. So I do like the guess. It's going even further south.
Both considering these southern islands here.
It works for Flyme. Wow.
Works out
Nice
really
guess.
well for Flyme. 3 times damage. That's a big hit to RC. RC no longer flawlessing right now, and Flyme now with a big lead.
It'd seem a little bigger than it is, especially given the multipliers. I would guess that this is new Oman coverage here. Question with Oman is, are you in the southern mountains or the northern mountains?
I like that. I like the southern mountains quite a bit. I was looking at some Oman coverage recently, actually.
Yep.
I do like where he's going. Quite a
so is
lot.
Flyme.
Flyme there too.
I think these mountains tend to be a lot more green than the ones up closer to Muscat, so I think, yep. Good guesses from both.
Great from both. 56 there.
I mean, keeping himself in it. He knows he needs to win this, and he knows he's kind of under pressure in terms of the overall standing. So he doesn't want to lose 2-0 here. He wants to put up a fight, and he's certainly doing that.
But to land on a round like this, round 7 with 4 times damage, what appears to be a US, I would guess.
Yeah, this is not what Flyme wants to see.
Not what Flyme wants to see against RC, one of the best US players in the world. We'll see how he does. Flyme opting for Wyoming. Yeah, definitely wants to stay alive and just go to the next round. Seems like he's gonna go Wyoming here. RC, we don't know yet, but he looks pretty confident on the cam. Going Oregon, northern central Oregon.
And I would never bet against RC. Flyme switched, though. He's actually in Oregon now.
Wow, he did. I like it. 10 seconds to go. Neither player has locked it in. Trying to gather whatever last bits of information they can. The lock comes from Flyme. They're both in Oregon, pretty close to each other. It is just close to Idaho border there. RC a tiny bit closer.
Yep. Flyme not showing a lot of emotion, but I think he's quite happy with himself probably for that. Again, US is not what you want to see against Radu, so escaping it with only 300 health lost is definitely a good outcome for him there. This M sign, I think, is a Sweden thing. I love the Gotland guess. We have green blur. You see the location looks kind of just more green than normal, kind of saturated, which is something that's very common on the island of Gotland, so I really like the guess from Radu.
Do as well. Flyme just near Stockholm, a little farther north of it. This could be big points if RC's correct, which I think he might be.
Sure is.
It sure is. Flyme did move farther south, though, which helped him out. He would have lost a lot more points than that. But that's 2,000 damage to Flyme. RC now takes the lead back.
You can see Flyme really frustrated with himself. He knows he's been playing incredibly well, it has to be said. And definitely tough for him to go behind there because, well, he knows he has to play great, and he really has been doing everything he can. This looks like South Africa. This could be another big round here.
This could be some big points. Fly me in the map. Both players pretty close to each other. RC seeming like he's considering farther west, however, than Fly me is. This is round 9 with 5 times damage. Fly me just makes the guess, and he doesn't look too happy with it. He's just hoping for the best. It's the best he can come up with. Wipe the sweat off the brow, Fly me.
A little closer. We'll see.
Well, we'll see. Come on. RC ends up being closer. It's actually far north, northwest coast, but it's not enough. Fly me has 47 health. We go on to round 10. It could be anyone's game on a Russia by the looks of it. Big country, big points.
Oh my, this may be Russia. Yeah. Unless it's like Donetsk or something, but I think with this blurred antenna, I think it is going to be... Oh no, it is Donetsk.
Oh, it is Donetsk. Wow. Does Fly me know? Can Fly me take us NMPZ?
This is such a lame way to end it on the round limit. Yeah, Fly me's going to go Russia because he's probably thinking about Donetsk, but he realizes if it is, he's just going to lose. So... Then again, he'll lose if Ryder doesn't get it, but I think he's feeling like he
RC has moved to Volgograd.
Oh my gosh.
They're both in Volgograd now.
I feel like with the blurred antenna, maybe that makes more sense. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Well, RC will win if Fly me stays, but will he move? He won't. Man, that's going to do it.
He won't. That is going to win him the game. He takes all the points he needs on round 10 and wins the overall match. An impressive game from Fly me, it must be said.
Yeah, I have to say, Fly me, it feels like he got really unlucky there. He played incredibly well in the no-move and in the moving. He was just a little bit worse. I mean, Radu, he's just so hard to beat. And again, Fly me, I think if he plays like that against almost anybody else, he's going to get a match win or at least a game win. So that's just a really, really unfortunate result for him.
It's really that consistency from RC that's just so hard to beat. Again, as you're mentioning, Fly me, an amazing game too, but it's just that overall consistency on every single round that RC tends to show. I mean, Fly me did get some good round wins in there for sure, but that overall consistency, so impressive. Yep. Lovely match that we got to see there, and we do get to see another one, which I'm excited about. We're going to see Captain versus Trickter, which should be good. I did mention earlier, it seems like Trickter has been losing a bit of that confidence that seems to be not playing out too super well for him. This is such a mental game, so he needs to stay locked in, not let those nerves get to him. Captain has been a little bit of that unknown quantity. He's come in and won a lot more than I think some people expected him to do. We see that 75% win rate with 6 out of 8 games. Very impressive. And that average guess time and a nice precision as well.
Yeah. And then, yeah, slightly lower win rate, slightly lower precision from Trickter. But I think Trickter, he knows how good he is. We all know how good he is. And I think he's maybe playing a little bit below his potential right now. There's plenty of time for him to come back if he can lock in. He's probably still a little shaken up about that the Sweden and /Turkey NMPZ round before. Again, we know how good he is at NMPZ. We know that he can come back. And I would expect him to do a lot in the coming weeks.
I agree. This should be a good matchup. I think it's going to be a pretty close one. Should be quite exciting. Take a look at their standings right now. We do see that Captain is 8th and Trickter is 16th. Trickter with 8 points, Captain with 12. That's a pretty big difference, so it could be a pretty important comeback for Trickter if he makes the win here. And especially if he can get a 2-0, that'll be 3 points. That will bring him up to 11 points, which would be very important for him. So we'll see how it fares now that they're in game. And we get this going. Captain, Trickter, moving.
Yeah, definitely a super, super important match for Trickter. Of course, for both, but Captain, he's been playing really well and can maybe afford to drop a game or two, but Trickter probably feels a little bit more of the pressure right now. See if he can lock in and get it done.
I think it's definitely possible. Either player could most definitely take this. We have a Finland zoom here from Captain quickly. Trickter hasn't opened the map yet. I do like the Finland guess.
Yep.
Makes sense. Trickter Getting some slow movement there, but does see a bit of a sign. Could that help him? He's only got 10 seconds here, and he hasn't opened the map yet. He grabs some language. Does that help him out?
See, I mean, it's bilingual, so I love where Trickter is guessing right now. Okay, that works too. But yeah, so you had Swedish and Finnish on the sign. Generally, that's more along the coast that you get that. Both the west coast and the south coast of Finland is where you'll get bilingual stuff. So makes a lot of sense.
Works out. We get a Greenland Trekker here by the looks of it. Do our players know it? We've definitely seen some matchups actually end on Greenland Trekkers, which is not the way you want to go out.
I am really rusty on my Greenland Trekkers, so I will admit I am not 100% sure which one this is, and it looks like the players are in the same boat as me, going around seeing if they can find a town name somewhere.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to have a Greenland Trekker on moving, because you can look around and see if you can get the signs, find the town name. But Greenland's such a massive country.
I don't remember which of the towns this is, and I'm not going to try and make a call because, oh, it's Asiat. Okay, so yeah, Captain's found that. I don't think Trickter has, so he may be... Ooh, is he going to go for it anyway? It's on his screen. He's a bit too far north, though.
Ooh, he did go too far north. He moves even farther north. Wow. You see Trickter talking. Oh, that's 1,500 down to Trickter's health off of a Greenland Trekker. They're dangerous, guys.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I didn't think it was Asiat because I don't remember seeing that mirror in the Asiat Trekker before, so I thought it was something else. But nicely done, Captain, moving around, finding that info, and using it very well. That says, is that a state abbreviation there? On that sign?
Oh, I don't know. I can't totally tell. We are in a round 3 here now. It seems to be Brazil. We have some Brazilian polls, Portuguese language. But is that sign important that Trickter saw? It doesn't seem like it was. He just moved on from it.
It was also these little yellow things in the polls. I think those are a Maranhão thing, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Captain's going Maranhão. So in Maranhão, you'll see those little yellow sort of square sign things sort of nailed into the poles, and yeah, they both are going Maranhão here, and I think they're correct.
Yeah, both pretty close, but nothing too much. Trickter is gonna get rid of Captain's perfect score there, which is good, and we move on to round 4.
New Iceland coverage. And both players will know the country, so it's just going to come down to a region guess here. Captain's just going to go ahead and go for it. We saw an Iceland round earlier where Finnbar was able to win by getting a sign, but who knows how close they are to signage here. Looks like neither player is going to bother trying to find any.
Yeah, and both seem southwest, so shouldn't see too much of a difference even on that front. They're both in the country, they're both in the same area. We'll see what happens here. 1 second left. Time runs out, and Captain a little bit closer, but both of them right there, almost on top of each other. 78
really
points.
Nice guesses from both there. Not too much to speak of, but again, yeah, Captain really showing his quality in the first few weeks of this league. He's been so consistent, so strong, winning most of his games. Again, Trickter definitely feeling the pressure. Definitely feels like he probably has to win this moving game. See if he can make a comeback.
Players off to the races here in round 5. Captain moving quite quickly. Trickter taking a slow look around. You can see him stop in each move a bit and look, while Captain's just zooming through. You see some ballers there on the side of the road. I didn't get a good look at them, but those could definitely be helpful.
Yeah, it might be like southern Serbia was my first thought here.
I like that quite a lot, actually. Green hills. Houses definitely look Balkan, Serbian architecture. Yeah, that is a Serbia bollard right there that we did see. Captain gets a quick sign.
Ovan is the town. Who knows if he'll be able to find it in this much time? Probably not, but we'll see.
Seems they're both hoping for a lucky find there on the map. Did they find it? No, they didn't. Captain, a little closer, though.
Yeah, it looked like Trickter moved away at the last second. He found a lake, a body of water that he liked, but didn't quite work out for him there.
Going around 6 now, 3.5 times damage. Things are getting serious here. Captain close to full health. Trickter close to half health.
That is that Welsh or Scottish Gaelic? There was some kind of odd language on that sign. I'm not sure which of the languages it was, but I think both players may have seen it.
But we do have another sign there,
That's
Captain.
definitely Welsh, yeah.
I like it, yeah.
Don't know those towns, haven't heard of them. Guessing neither player will know them either, but they will presumably know that it is Welsh. So there probably won't be too many points on offer here.
Yeah. Okay, both players have now seen the same sign. Both, yep, recognize the language. It'll just be the difference where they are in Wales. Trickter farther north, Captain right in the middle.
Actually. Yep.
Great guess from Trickter there. On it. It's going to be a little bit of a comeback, at least mentally. As I mentioned before, this is such a mental game, and Trickter has been someone who can get affected, it seems sometimes, by going down, letting the nerves get to him. So any round win like that is going to be important there for the mental.
Yep. This will just be Cambodia. We have typical sort of flat landscape with the red soil, antenna on the car, and this sort of Southeast Asian looking architecture. Especially a lot of houses on stilts. You see that a lot in Cambodia because there's a lot of flooding. So both players will definitely know the country here.
Yeah, Tricker's just got
Tricker's not
to...
zooming in yet. Okay.
Yeah, he should know. Just trying to get whatever information he still can by looking around some more. Wow, it is just far northeast. Trickter, tiny bit closer there, but pretty similar guesses. We're just going to move on to round 8. We're deep in this moving matchup already.
You're hoping for some tricky rounds, see if you can make a difference. This looks like Kenya. I mean, it's probably Western Kenya, so again, unlikely to matter too much, although Captain's going south of the lake. If Trickter goes north, it could make a difference here.
Definitely could. I mean, I generally like it being west. It's so green. They're both pretty close to each other, both close to the lake. Wow, very similar guesses. But Captain, on it.
That's an incredible guess from Captain. There was no information at all, just an amazing region guess.
Trickter now under half health as we move into round 9. Again, there are 10 rounds. Prove yourself in 10. That's all you get. Trickter, quick zoom in to Bangkok. Makes sense. Thai language right off the bat. Thai polls. Left driving side. And a pretty big city by the looks of it, so I like the 2 Bangkok guesses. This might just take us to round 10. It will. Everything now matters on round 10. 55 points down to Trickter. Could be anyone's game. 5 times damage is big, but we'll see how this happens. Trickter might need to do an insta-guess here. It might be his best bet on our final round. We'll see what he opts to do.
Looks like possibly Peru, which definitely could make a difference. He is going to go for the quick guess, which I like. He's in Tumbes. Are the mountains to the south? They might be. I like the Tumbes guess in that case.
Oh, but
I don't know if it's enough.
Yeah, Captain's pretty close as well.
If Trickter's on the 5K, maybe it's enough, but it's going to be close. It's not anyway.
Captain, closer. Captain takes the moving game pretty impressively. What a match. We move on to no moving.
What an amazing showing so far in this league from Captain. He's been... I expected him to be very good, but he's been even exceeding my expectations. He's really playing well.
Yeah, he is. I mentioned that earlier. One of those sort of underdogs, unknown quantity, comes in and has been performing so well in a way that I think a lot of people weren't necessarily expecting. But he's proving himself.
Absolutely. This looks like Borneo, Malaysia, I would say. Interesting little hill in the background there, but this sort of Gen 3 coverage, flat-ish landscape with the white lines. Very, very typical for Sarawak, which both players seem to agree about. However, there's a good deal further southwest, so we will see. I don't mind Trickter's guess, given the big mountain in the background. You do get a lot of mountains near Kuching, although you can, of course, get mountains pretty much anywhere. So, hard to say for sure.
Yeah, hard to say. We have a lock from Captain. Trickter farther south, as mentioned. We'll see what ends up happening here, but 1 times damage round 1. Shouldn't be too much, but an impressive guess from Captain.
Just Pintulu. Just click middle and it'll work, I guess. But, yeah, really nice from Captain. He's just keeping up that momentum, not letting anything go. Just, yeah. Again, amazing gameplay from him so far.
Yeah, round 2 now, 1.5 times damage. I like Peru or Bolivia here. We see Captain thinking similarly, zooming in southern Peru. We'll see if Trickter follows. Yep, he is, both similarly in southern Peru. Again, we shouldn't see too many points if they are close to each other. We'll see, though.
Peru, and notably quite a difficult country to region guess. But players have been getting a lot better at it recently. Still not something I'm very good at doing. I usually just click near Lima, but these players will know better than me, I am sure. A little further north.
Oh yeah, he's moved it up there. Captain staying with his first guess of southern. He locks it in. Trickter
Just near
going near
Lima
Lima
here.
yeah. Wow, if he had kept it down there, it would have been quite close, but he doesn't. He goes farther north. Captain taking 1,200 damage off of Trickter.
Yeah, again, just amazing consistency so far from Captain. Trickter trying everything he can, and it just isn't happening for him right now.
Round 3, 2 times damage. We're looking at a...
Newfoundland, maybe?
I do like Newfoundland quite a lot.
Very remote feeling Canada round. Normally when Canada looks like this, it is Newfoundland.
Trickter thinking the same thing as well. They could line up this bay here if they wanted to, and decided to take the time. It could be gettable. We'll see, though. Captain just opting to go pretty central. I think he might be debating if you can see land past that opening in the islands there.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if so, would make more sense, while Trickter thinks he's seeing out to the ocean, so he's opting, so you can see the compass there in the bottom left, that white is the south. So we do have an opening there to the south. Captain opting to actually go north, while Trickter trusting ocean is south. It is ocean south, but Trickter farther east, and Captain ends up actually being closer.
The issue with Newfoundland is that even when you can see the coast, it's so hard to know where you are because there's just so much coast. There's so many fjords, so many inlets all over the island. So, yeah, even though he knew or he thought the coast was to the south, it's still so hard to know where you are.
Yeah. Going around 4, 2.5 times damage now. What appears to be Brazil. We have some Brazilian poles there. The look, the architecture, everything also very indicative of Brazil. It adds up. White painted bottom poles you can see on Trickter's screen, common in Romania. Romania and Brazil.
Yeah.
But Captain closer.
He's in the right state. I wonder if there was a state-specific clue there. I'm not sure what it was that he picked up on, but Captain's still flawless here.
Wow, flawlessing on the no move.
Interesting here. This is Mediterranean, but I would say Greece would be my first guess here, but I'm not sure. Could easily see something else.
Yeah, it definitely looks very Mediterranean. The water, the plants, all adds up, but definitely hard. Past that, we have a Greece here from Trickter by the looks of it. Captain seems to want to go Italy here. We have one little pole there that possibly looks like it's wood. It's like gray wood, which is interesting.
See a lot of wooden poles in Greece.
We do.
Not that they can't show up in Italy, but they are very common in Greece. I'm not sure, but this could be very consequential because Captain is hedging Italy.
Yeah, Captain's doing a little swimming here, just hedging all of Italy. While Trickter staying in Greece, Greek island actually, farther east, so this could be really big points with 3 times damage. It is Italy, and it does work out that Captain went there, and he wins off of that. That gives Captain a 2-0 over Trickter.
Wow. Just really impressed, to be honest, by Captain's gameplay so far, especially in that match. Just 2-0 against a really, really strong player in Trickter. Captain just keeps the momentum rolling. I don't know what he saw in that Italy round that made him confident that it was Italy, but it looked like he wasn't even considering Greece, so I'm guessing maybe it was copyright or something else, something about the poll, I'm not sure. But amazing, consistent guesses from Captain, and a deserved victory there.
Yeah. Well, we can take a look at our schedule here. We can see what happened off the screen. Ocean Man got a 2-1 over Kent. Orlando got a 2-1 over Moo. MK 2-0'd Dev. And again, we saw RC Flammy on the broadcast, and we just finished Captain versus Trickter.
Yeah, wow. I would say for me, Orlando over Moo is probably a bit of a surprise. Not that it's too much of a surprise given how good we know Orlando is now. But Moo, I think that's probably the first match that he's lost so far. So that's a big win for Orlando. Similarly, a big win for Ocean Man, who I think is kind of on the bubble right now in terms of being in the top 12. So really, really nice guess, or nice win there for Ocean Man. And then MK with a big 2-0 against Dev.
Yeah, and we can take a look at our final standings of where we're at right now, these overall standings. Wow, this is interesting to look at. Orlando has moved up here. He's got 8 points now. He's in 14th place. He's just on that barrier of being in that top 12. Captain, 4th place. Pretty solidly.
Huge from Captain, yeah. 15 points through 7 matches, level with Moo. Really, really impressive. And I think he's sitting pretty right now, playing incredibly well. Whereas couple tough losses for some of the other players. Dev took the 2-0 loss against MK, definitely went down in the standings there, down to 27th, and then Trickter as well. Definitely probably not feeling super good about where he is right now, especially given how good we know he is and how well we know he can play. But again, I would expect Trickter to come back stronger in the next few weeks.
I agree. Another little noteworthy thing there we did see is MK moved up pretty far up. I know he was outside of our top 12 at the start of the day, now in the top 12. Very impressive. Guys, we're going to send you to another little quick break. Take a rest. Grab some food if you need to. Stretch, get your limbs moving. Be active. We'll see you when we come back. We'll watch Trickter again versus Pan. Maybe Trickter gets a comeback. Maybe Pan moves up the leaderboard. We'll see how it goes, guys. We'll see you in a bit. Enjoy the break. Welcome back in, guys. Final slot of the day. Exciting stuff to come. Trickster versus Pan is our first. It's gonna be great. I am Bloom, joined by the legend Jake Lyons here to walk you through these games today. Hope you've been having a good time. Hope you've been enjoying. Hope you had a good break. Let's take a look at our schedule and see what we got going. In the last slot, Trickster Pan, as I mentioned, gonna be a good one, gonna be exciting. Both of these players really want a win here to move up that world ranking. And our second match of the day is gonna get delayed a little bit so that we can take a look at it. That's gonna be RC in Orlando. And we're gonna get a winner's interview from whoever wins that second match at the end. We love it. We're gonna get to talk to either RC or Orlando to end out the day. Gonna be good. Gonna be a really good segment here. I'm excited, but we start with Trickster Pan. As I said, both of these players really want a dub here. Trickster has been having exactly the performance he wanted today. We have seen him quite a bit, so we'll see how that ends up playing out. See his stats. We'll take a look. That 50% win rate and that 42-second average guess time, quite interesting. He's a player who likes to take his time by the looks of it, especially compared to a lot of the other players in this World League.
Definitely. And yep, no surprise that Pan's average guess time is a good deal lower. We have seen a lot of quick guesses from him. His win rate is down at 33% though. And I think he's lost 2-0 twice already today. So he's definitely looking for a win here. And even when you don't think about the top 12 in the league overall for the Auto World Cup spots, they're also fighting for spots in the regional championships. And I believe it's the top 12 out of 20 for Europe, Middle East, and Africa who qualify for the regionals. So they're also really looking to, keep up the good form, or, well, you know what I mean. Anyway, they both are playing a little bit worse than I think they we're hoping. So, they're both really feeling like they need to win this.
Yeah, especially Pan there. We saw him quite near the end of the entire world ranking here. I think it was 34th, if I'm not mistaken. So he wants this win. We go into the moving game round one.
It's like a Nigeria here. I don't know if either of them has a state name or not. It says Delta State. Yeah, okay. So Trickster has the state. Doesn't look like Pan does.
Yeah, Trickster just getting a guess there. He might have gotten the town. It seemed like he had a guess in the state and then moved to a very specific town. It might have been on that sign. We might have missed it. We just have a Lecky guess, actually, from Pan. So that's going to work out great for Trickster. A really good start for him on this moving game, round one.
Again, Trickster showing probably he's a little bit more of an experienced moving player than Pan. Knows what he has to look for in Nigeria. You'll get states written a lot on those signs. And he was able to find the state, and he knew where it was. And Pan couldn't quite pull that off. Looks like an Indiana plate on Trickster's screen here.
Yeah, round two here. Seems to be. Both players opted to kind of just look around, no move first. And now, both not really moving, but it seems we have possibly an Indiana here from Pan. Might have recognized the plate, but Trickster in Pennsylvania. So we'll see. Trickster does decide to keep moving here, so hopefully he can find something that might help him change that guess off of Pennsylvania if it is Indiana.
We'll see. I did see one Indiana plate, but who knows if that car might have moved. Escape does work, though.
We'll see. We're getting into these last final seconds. Pan confidently in Indiana. Trickster seems to have debated now going Virginia, so we'll see. He doesn't even have a pin down yet. He drops it Virginia. This is going to be a pretty big difference here. Wow, it is Indiana. That's big damage down to Trickster. Not what he wants to see. You can see he's disappointed in that.
Yep. And again, he might be letting the pressure or the nerves get to him. And both of these players have had rough goes of it so far today. Both really feeling like they need a win. Let's see who can do it. Trickster's got a road number. I don't know. It looks like the 90 maybe, yeah. So Trickster may be on the right road here. That's another thing that, again, less experienced moving players won't know this, but oftentimes... Oh, it was the wrong number.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So the number was blurred on Trichter's screen, so he couldn't quite see it, and you can see he's kind of frustrated with himself there. But at the edges of bridges in New Zealand, you'll often see road numbers, and Trichter knew exactly where to look. He just, unfortunately, the sign wasn't very helpful because it wasn't easily visible.
Yeah, and we do move on to round 4 in what appears to be Jordan. There are some good signs here. Pan seems to have one there. But Trichter has some as well, too. Amon makes a lot of sense, though.
Jarash. I mean, Jarash is that one city to the north of Amman, so being somewhere in the area between Amman and Jarash would make a lot of sense. I'm not sure if Pan had the same sign or not, but either way, he'll be in Oman, or not Oman, Amman anyway, so it won't make too much of a difference, I don't think.
Yeah, shouldn't be too much here. If Trichter can maybe just get a couple points here, could be something, but realistically, we're going to go to round 5. They're trying to line up something if they can, both in that similar area north of Amman. Makes sense. Trichter.
5K, beautiful.
Lovely 5K. I saw him lining it up. It seemed like he was a bit confident about it, so it does work out for him. Nice little 5K, but he's staying composed. He's staying locked in. He knows point-wise it doesn't do too much as we move on to round 5.
Good for the mental, perhaps, as you would say.
Yes. Could be here. We have a Mexico. Quick zoom here from Trichter. Kind of near Veracruz or Puebla. We'll see. He locks it in. He locks it in fast. Will Pan follow? Pan does think it's Mexico too. Thinks it's the same area. They're on top of each other.
Look at that. It's worth mentioning, I think, by the way, I got a message from Lenley telling me that apparently fast moving has been basically disabled in order to try and level the playing field between players with differing pings across the world, which makes sense, but it's also, you know, for players who rely on moving fast, I think that's probably a pretty significant disadvantage for them. But
yeah, that is.
This is interesting.
Good for fairness, though. We do have players playing from all over the world here.
Yeah,
varying
definitely.
pings, as mentioned, so...
Harder to fast move in places like Australia and New Zealand, so I totally understand that. This does look like Canada. We had... So Cobourg is probably a town. I have not heard of it myself. Trichter, there it is.
Trichter has it.
Beauty.
Wow, great guess there from Trichter. A 4999. That's a decent point comeback. He still is on only 500 health here. He's in the red. Pan still above half, but just barely. We go to round 7 here. Yeah, Malaysia by the looks of it.
Wow, the instant send in Kuching. I mean, it's hilly, which would make sense. It's Gen 3, which works for Borneo. I mean, maybe the poles are more Sarawak than Sabah, so, I mean, if Pan's this confident, I wouldn't bet against him. Trichter's hedging.
He moves it up,
and it works.
And it works out for him. 4 times damage. That's going to be a big hit.
Oh,
that's going to be the game.
Goodness. Wow. What a comeback from Trichter. So it ended up being Sarawak, but it's that one sneaky mountainous part of Sarawak right on the Sabah border. I think Trichter probably, it looked to me like he wasn't very confident with his guess, and he was just saying, what the heck. But it was a bit of a hedge, and it worked perfectly for him.
It does work out. Pan not going to be too happy with that, having quite a big lead and then losing in the end. We do move on to no moving now. Quick guess here from Germany by the looks of it. Pan doesn't want to lock it in instantly.
Yeah, I agree with the Germany. We have yellow directional signs, which are found very commonly in Germany, but the architecture does feel kind of almost Dutch, Danish-esque, so I like the sort of northern Germany guess from Pan here.
I like it as well. Trichter to follow by the looks of it. Yep, similar areas of Germany. Shouldn't be too much. Too many points. We'll see. The time is just running out. They're seeing if they can find anything. Pan says, nope, nothing else to find. Trichter can't find anything else either. Just gonna go central. We shouldn't see too many points here. Pan a little closer.
Yep, ends up being a little further towards the Netherlands, but no significant damage done there.
Move on to round 2. No move.
Nigeria here, we have the follow car. That police car, it's very, very commonly seen in Nigeria coverage. Region guess a little bit tougher. It does look kind of sort of savannah-like, which makes more sense for sort of the northern part of the country. So I do like the guesses from both players here around Abuja.
I do as well. Once again, we shouldn't see too many points. They're pretty close to each other. Pan closer. Pan's gonna hold.
North there.
Yeah, hold a lead there. Bringing Trichter down to 5,400 points. Move on around.
He knows
3.
he needs to win this, but I think he also probably feels a lot more confident in no move in NMPZ than he does in moving. So I think he still feels like he's in an okay spot here.
Yeah, and he's showing it too. You know, he's at the full health here on round 3. Possibly a bit of a difficult round here. Some Generation 2 coverage, some older coverage. Both seem to be northwest Italy, though. I do like it.
Yeah, it could definitely make sense to be in the mountains of Liguria here. Sort of rockiness of the mountains makes a lot of sense for this range, but could easily also be somewhere else in the Alps. We will have to see what this ends up being. Really similar guesses, though.
They are very close to each other. I mean, you love to see it. It's like these pros learn such similar bits and pieces of information, study similar things, and they end up making similar guesses, even if they're not super correct, like we see right here. But even still, Pan takes 100 points of damage off of Trichter's health.
It is interesting. There must be some reason that they both guessed in the southwest, or in the west, like that. I'm not totally sure what the reason was, but maybe that kind of coverage is just more common in that area, and they're playing the numbers game. But yeah, it is really interesting to see how often players just have the exact same ideas.
And we go into round 4. Seems to be a South Africa here. Both players near Lesotho, but Pan Western, Trichter North.
Yeah, oftentimes rounds can look very Lesotho-like, but it can be hard to know what side of Lesotho you're actually on, which is kind of what the players seem to be unsure about here.
Pan possibly lined up a road here. We're on a very just east-west road, as we can tell by the compass down in the bottom left of their screens. Pan on a road that lines up for a portion, but it does have a turn, which this road doesn't, but he is closer anyways. A good guess from Pan there. Still going flawless. That's 1,000 points down to Trichter's health as we move into round 5 of our no moving game.
I think Trichter feeling pretty grateful at the moment that he won that moving game, because Pan is really, really playing well in this no move.
He is, and even if we get to NMPZ, that will mean that both players will secure at least 1 point for their world ranking. Or Trichter makes a comeback and takes the 2-0, getting him 3 points. We will see Pan possibly lining up a road here. Trichter to follow suit. Looking straight down at the road, you can see that the compass ends up getting lined up north-south like that. Then you can line up the road angle with a road angle on the map. Very helpful tip if you're trying to get a 5K.
They're not exactly on the same road, though. They're in the same area, but Pan is on the N10, and Trichter is looking at the R31 a bit north of there. So we could still see some points on offer here. Oh, Pan's actually moving east now. Oh, so is Trichter. Oh my gosh.
They're both moving, but they're both close. They're both close again.
They are.
Trichter closer. He's gonna break the flawless. That's something.
Yeah, definitely good for the mental there. Get a few points off him, even if it's not too many. Hoping he can turn the tide here. Looks like a Mexico here.
Yeah, got a Pemex right there. Classic Mexican gas station. We also have an Office Depot if anyone needed any school supplies or anything. Round 6, 3.5 times damage.
Not much going on here. I don't know if there's any info. I don't see much. So they're just going to have to try and vibe guess this. Urban Mexico, not easy. Oh my goodness.
That's a pretty big commit there from Pan if he's going to go there. Reynosa.
Wow. I wonder what's making him think it's US border. I mean, it could work. I feel like on the US border you get a lot of sort of like US style pickup trucks and stuff. I personally wouldn't be too convinced that it's up there, but again, Pan knows better than me, so we'll see what Trichter does.
Trichter going Sinaloa. This is going to be a big difference. 3.5 times damage. This could be big points. Wow! It's just Yucatan. It's Quintana Roo. And
Was
that
it
still ends
Cancun?
up
Oh
just
my
a little south
goodness.
of Cancun, I think. Wow.
That hurts for Trichter. You can see him kind of wryly smiling on his screen because he knows Pan's guess was not very good there, but it just happened to be a little bit closer. So he actually took quite a lot of damage there. But, wow. that's Urban Mexico for you.
That's
really difficult.
That's a way to lose that many points for Trichter. He's definitely not happy about that on a difficult round. We are on round 7, 4 times damage. We have an Indonesian island guess here from Pan. This is a difficult location. We do have some polls that could be helpful here. Seems both want to go Indonesia, and they both want to go to Indonesian island, which I do like quite a lot.
Mm-hmm. I think it is going to be an Indonesian island. We have that pole extension on Pan's screen to the northeast. I do like it either being the Riau Islands or Bangka Belitung, although I can't say I'm sure which one, and it looks like the players are split between... Oh gosh, I don't think I would be where Trichter is. Oh man, Pan's moving
wow.
now. I would guess it's closer to Sumatra, but
It's coming
I'm
down
not
the
sure.
last second. We have the Sulawesi guess now. It's just
Java.
Java.
Oh my.
And that's 1,400 health down to Pan.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, no, that pole extension works for East Java too. It's just I wasn't on a round like that. I was not considering Java. That's a crazy round.
That is such a crazy round. We move on to round 8. 4.5 times damage. Appears to be a Malaysia round by the looks of it, by the language, by the car, by the architecture. Borneo Island, Malaysia makes the most sense.
Yeah.
As well, I like the south. I like the Cebu area. That makes sense too. Yeah, that's quite a good guess actually for this area, for what this looks like. I do like it.
Mm-hmm.
Both players opting to go right near there. We'll see how this pays off for them.
We do have a Sarawak flag, by the way, so that confirms that it's the state of Sarawak, assuming that the players know the flags, which I guess is not an assumption that I should probably make. But that flag that you see
there
there
is a
to the
flag,
south,
yes.
that yellow and red one is a Sarawak flag. But either way, it kind of just looks like Sarawak, so I'm sure both players will get it.
Yeah, both players right there. We'll see, 3 seconds left. Both players trying to line up something possibly. Pan a little bit closer, but should not be enough to end the game. But that is 500 health down from Trichter's health bar.
Trichter's got 2 rounds left to make something happen. He is running out of time.
Round 9, 5 times damage could be doable.
This could be big. So this is going to be the northern half of the island of Sulawesi in Indonesia. There are 3 provinces that have this specific type of pole that we see here. So North Sulawesi, Central Sulawesi, and Gorontalo. But that's a big area, and that could make a major difference. And is hedging the entire area, which makes a lot of sense, and he's going to go for that.
He's going to do a little swimming. Is Trichter going to follow suit?
He's thinking about it. Although, since he's behind it, he might want to take a risk.
Yeah, he is. Oh, he's going North Sulawesi. He's going to commit. Will it pay off for him? It does. It pays off very well for him with 5 times damage. That's the game. That is a crazy comeback from Trichter. He even claps it up at the end. I would assume that's a clap for Pan, saying, you know what, good game.
Yeah.
Can't believe I came back.
I think Pan probably thought that if he clicked in the water there, he wouldn't lose. And I think he may have underestimated the multipliers a little bit, because I think that North Sulawesi, with how many palms there were, was probably the best guess there. But I think Pan just thought, I'll survive if I hedge, just move on to the next round, don't take any risks while I'm ahead. But he took, Trichter took a risk and he won.
Yeah, it paid off for him really well. I mean, that is such an impressive comeback. He didn't let the nerves get to him in this game. It worked out. He locked in an amazing commit of a guess there to win him the game. Very exciting. But, guys, now we're going to come up on our last match of the day. It's going to be RC versus Orlando. I mean, this is a matchup. Orlando, one of the first GeoGuessr player to be signed to an esports organization, Imperial Esports. So impressive and exciting for him. Really amazing. And RC, one of the best in the world. I mean, we can just see right here. Look at that win rate. 86% win rate, 12 of 14 games. That's not matches, that's games. Insanely impressive there from RC. You can take a look at Orlando too.
Yeah, 86% is incredible from Radu. 64, also very, very good. Right around probably where Orlando wants to be. He wants to be in that top 12. But yeah, you see the precision just a little bit lower for Orlando, and the win rate just a little bit lower as well. Average guess times are very similar. But again, we've seen Orlando's quality. We saw him reach, I believe, the semifinals of the World Cup in 2024, and he's been off to an amazing start in this league as well. He won his match against Mu earlier, which I think is maybe a little bit of a surprise to some people. So Orlando definitely came to play, and he's going to give Radu a very good match here.
Yeah, definitely. These are two of our most recent World Cup quarterfinalists too, so very impressively recently showing out. Orlando wants this though, as you said, but he's close to that top 12. He could definitely get there. Let's see how these players fare in their moving game against each other.
Okay, so we have Spanish language in round 1. It's Europe, so we'll definitely be in Spain. See if the players decide to go look for some information here. Cantabria, that is a region, an autonomous community in Spain. Radu knows. He's checking to make sure he knows which one it is, but he is now in the correct one. Not sure Orlando has the same info, but Radu will be in the correct subdivision here, so we might be able to get some points here.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, Orlando, farther east. Okay, then they're pretty close to each other. RC ends up being right on it, but just 138 points, not too much. I love seeing Orlando in the jersey there, the Imperial jersey.
Yep.
We love it. Round 2, we're on reunion, actually, surprisingly. Which is cool to see, but we shouldn't see too many points, but players just kind of locking in a guess, saying, let's go next.
Yep. Unique Google car, all the pro players are going to know this, so it's never going to make too much of a difference. See if RC can pull off a 5K or something here. Pretty close.
Wow. Right on it. RC really so impressive.
Yeah.
And like mentioning that these players were both quarterfinalists might not even really be indicative of either of their skills. You know, like it's almost like they're better than that. RC and Orlando, both two of the best in the world.
Yep. You see RC's moving skill coming into play so far in this game with that really nice guess in Reunion and the subdivision knowledge in Spain as well. See what he does in this Philippines round. It looks like neither has much info. I do with a pretty specific guess in Southern Luzon, though. Oh my goodness.
Wow, what an amazing guess from RC. That's 1,600 down to Orlando already, and we're only going into round 4.
It's just incredible to watch Radu play, honestly. It's really amazing what this man can do. So consistent.
Super quick lock in Kenya from Orlando. I think he just doesn't want to give RC any time to think. But even still, you get that guess in, and your opponent still has 15 seconds, which is more time than you think for players like this when all they need is a little bit of thinking time.
Yeah. Still isn't much, though. I mean, if you're playing against an amazing moving player, the strategy, definitely, if you feel less comfortable, is just to send fast and hope that they don't find anything. Thing is, Radu's so good at everything that's less likely to work against him.
Going around 5 here on what appears to be a Kyrgyzstan by the looks of it. Both players seem to know. Does RC know the area? We'll see. Oh, both seem to be going quite quite close to each other, actually. Similar road here.
Yep, makes sense. Kyrgyzstan, a very, very learnable country. There's only a few roads in the country that have coverage. So players at this level wouldn't surprise me if they're on the right road. Mountain range to the west is interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. Orlando is lining it up, as mentioned just earlier about lining up the compass like that by looking straight down to line up the road. We'll see if they get anything. RC actually still just moving around. Only opened up the map once.
There's a town name, although I'm not sure it's going to show up. Doesn't look like he has it. Oh, he moved. Okay.
Wow. What a showing here from RC. So impressive to watch. I mean, a great guess. Can Orlando make a comeback?
Wouldn't put it past him, although this might be a tough place to do it. I would guess that this is Bolivia. And I like the guess near Potosi.
RC confident on a road here. Orlando to follow suit, I think not on the same road.
No, he's a good deal further north.
He is. This could be big points again, especially if RC's on it, and he is.
Wow.
3.5 times damage. That's 900 points. Orlando now less than half health. I mean, RC is one of the best LATAM players in the world. He has been one of the best LATAM players for 4 or 5 years now.
Yep. He's also a great Russia player, but Russia's definitely a little scarier for him, I think. Just because of how many points are on offer. Orlando is going to try and just go ahead and make a no-move guess. I like the guess on the road going through Krasnoyarsk, but Radu's got a sign, so this is probably going to end the game, I would imagine.
We'll see. It
Sign
seems like
for
he recognizes it.
Mariinsk.
Yeah.
As well as Vostochny. He has Mariinsk, so I would assume that this will end the game for RC.
Yeah, it does seem like RC's going to be right on it here. Yep. He's
Beautiful.
on it. That's a 5K from RC to win. Almost flawlessing in moving. We move
Ending it
on
in
to
style.
no move. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just, what can you say? He's so good. He is so, so good. Wow.
Amazing showing there. We go on to a no-move game. Can Orlando make a bit of a comeback here? Does this even the playing field? We'll see.
Again, Orlando definitely moving is his weakest mode, so again, I'm not sure he's too surprised by that result, but he's definitely not going to count himself out here. He's gotten so, so good at no-move in NMPZ recently that I definitely think he has a very good chance still. Interesting round here. I would have thought Peru. Orlando agrees. Some very old-looking rock walls here. Locks it in. Radu's not sure yet.
Yeah, the quick lock from Orlando. RC following suit right in the similar area. He's debating farther north, possibly. We'll see.
Again, Radu, an amazing Peru player, so see what he is able to pull off here. Amazing guess.
Wow. Did you see there that he even tried to move basically on the 5K there? It ended up just pinging because the time had run out, and that was basically on it. So if he had one more second, I think he might have almost 5K'd.
Yep.
Round
Peru,
2.
Not a country that Orlando wants to see. This could be a little more favorable, although we'll see what happens here. Not an easy round. A lot of these sort of, I don't know if these are oil palms. They kind of look like oil palms, but they're a bit different looking. But yeah, you get a lot of these trees in Malaysia. And again,
RC. Unstoppable force right now. Every week, it seems. It just ends up being south. RC very close to it.
Orlando just thinking, what the heck am I supposed to do against this? Like, how do I even get points off this guy? He's so consistent. Tricky one here. We have a concrete road, which you see a lot in Philippines, Thailand. Mainly those two. It's just not easy.
This is a hard one. We'll see. This could be a type of round that could be a good comeback for Orlando if he gets it. Both players seem a bit confused here. Let's see, there is a house there. You see RC can notice that, but there's really not much else. You got trees, you got a road, you got some grass.
They might be debating Philippines versus Thailand. That would be my guess here. Neither has zoomed in yet. Radu going Thailand. Oh, he's in Bangladesh. Really?
In Bangladesh. Wow.
Wow. It is Thailand.
It is Thai. Or is that even Lao? No, it
No,
should
it
just
was
be Thai
Gen 4,
there. That
so.
wins him the game. Wow. A quick, impressive win. What can you do there if you're Orlando? I mean, in some sense, besides that last round, Orlando's making good guesses. It's just RC on top. It's that consistency that you just cannot beat. And I mentioned it earlier today. It really is. Every round. Just consistency.
So consistent. And maybe Orlando feeling like he had to take a risk or something. I don't know. I mean, you sometimes will see concrete roads in Bangladesh. It's rare, but, you know, he figured the map's handpicked. This could just be a wacky location, so he decided to take a risk. Didn't quite pay off for him, but just incredible consistency, honestly, from Radu all the way through. It is amazing what he's able to do.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, that was a great match. I love that that gets to be our last match of the day. Orlando is a legend, and I'm sure we'll see him get up the world ranking later on as we go. We're only week 3. There's so many more weeks to go. All these players have a lot of games to play to make their way up. So, exciting stuff to come. We are going to get a winner's interview here with RC in a second whenever he is ready, but he might need a moment to chill a sec after that win, you know, maybe get some water. But very nice match. I mean, any standouts today, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, Radu just doing Radu things. Again, we never expect much less of him, but it's you know, week in and week out, it's amazing to see just how good he is, just how well he plays so consistently. So yeah, that was he was definitely, I think, the big standout of the day. We had a couple other really exciting matches. We had Moo with some really nice games. Trickter started off rough, but then came back at the end. So
that's exciting.
Yeah,
that was very
awesome
exciting
games today.
One thing that we didn't really get to see on the actual broadcast was that Blinky did have 2 2-0s off camera, which I think is so worth just mentioning and taking a moment to talk about. It's put him really, really solidly in the first place slot. We'll definitely take a look at those overall standings later today to see exactly how everything is played out. But seeing how far up Blinky was on that leaderboard is so impressive, and I'm excited to get to cast some of his games later on in this World League. Should be really great.
Yeah, Blinky's extraordinary. I think that I'll probably wait until we have an actual game of his to cast to talk more about just how good Blinky is, but it's really amazing to see what he's able to do. Just, again, his weakest... Moving is his strongest mode, and moving is like pretty much neutralized in this format. So the fact that he's able to play this well is just amazing, and he basically never loses, and it's amazing how consistent he is. And there's a reason he won the World Cup in 2024.
Definitely. But there's another player who's been playing amazing. We just saw him play. Let's chat with Radu C. RC, hey. Man. How are you? How are you feeling, man?
Doing good. Happy to get the 2-0s today.
Nice, they feel good. You've been sort of dominating throughout this whole thing. Is this kind of what you expected?
Today, no. I mean, I obviously try to win every game that I can, but I was playing against some very good opponents, and I did not expect the games to go as well as they did, but I'm happy.
Good. Jake, you got any thoughts for RC?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, there was one round in that no-move game. The first round of the no-move game was that Peru round, where it looked like, not only did you get an amazing guess, but it looked like you may have clicked even closer to the location after the time ran out. And I just wanted to ask, what did you see in that round? Did you click basically the 5K at the end? And yeah, what was your kind of thought process there?
Yeah, I was in between 2 roads. One of them is like more south near like Arequipa province, and then the other one is in Huancavelica province, and I realized last second that it was actually the Huancavelica road, and I was trying to get to it, and I didn't quite get to it, but I knew which road it was. I promise. I would have 5K'd with like 5 more seconds. But yeah.
That's exactly what I thought was happening. I even said that on the cast. I said, I think he if you gave him 1 or 2 more seconds, I think he was 5K'ing that. It seemed like you were heading that direction, so really impressive. I have a bit of a random question about the whole World League. Do you have any particular predictions for either yourself or any specific player about how this will all shape out?
I'm not going to talk about other players because I feel like everyone just kind of plays how the best they can play, and it's really hard to try and predict how other people will do with everyone being so good. But for myself, obviously I want to try and get top 12. I think I'm in a very good position at this point with the games that I've played, and I just want to keep it up. If I can get first, that'll be great, but that's just a cherry on top.
Very nice. Well, RC man, thank you for chatting with us. I'm sure the chat's happy to have a little moment to hear from you. So thank you for coming on. We appreciate you, and good luck in the coming weeks.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. Love to hear from Radu C, one of the GOATs of the game. Jake, we did it. A great day today. I hope everybody enjoyed. Do you have any we can take a look at some of the schedule and the overall standings, and if you have any thoughts, Jake, we can talk about how everything went down.
Yeah, so interesting. We've got 2-0 from Dev, bouncing back very nicely from his 2-0 loss against MK. Moo bouncing back as well with a 2-1 victory over Skill Issue. And then Fly Me against Ocean Man may not have happened. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm getting word that there's some technical issues there that are delaying it, and so it's probably not even going to be showed. But it will happen, and eventually those stats will be up and added in, so expect those later on. But yeah, the Moo skill issue happened as well, and then now we're looking at our final standings. As of right now, RC right behind Blinky with 19 points, Blinky with 20, then a little gap, Moo, little gap, Captain. Very, very impressive stuff. Captain 4th place. Surprising, but really, really awesome to see.
Yeah, definitely probably the most standout name for me so far is Captain there. Again, a lot of these players at the top are players we kind of expected to be close to the top. I mean, Moo as well is worth a shout out. I mean, it's amazing how much he's improved in such a short time. But Captain definitely showing what he's worth here. And also Zigzag, worth mentioning. And Feneb too. The Aussies definitely showing up. And yeah, it's been... And also Consus, worth noting, still in the top 10, despite the fact that he's only played 4 matches. So Consus definitely still in it too.
Yeah, I was just going to say that the 4 matches in the top 10. So impressive from Consus. We'll see more from him next week. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Again, I hope you enjoyed. I'm Bloom, Project Bloom. You can check me out, Twitch, YouTube. Joined by Jake Lyons, the GOAT. What a guy. Anything you want to talk about to end us out here, Jake?
Nah, not really. Just thanks again for an awesome week. Really glad to have been a part of this. And yeah, see you guys next week.
Yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. Again, hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next week. Expect another recap on the YouTube channel for whatever you missed from this week. Guys, I've been Bloom, and as always, peace.